How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Mario Kart Central Week. Today, we are bringing you the Division 4 finals between Contingency and Duracell Battery. Should be a very close match. Should be a very entertaining match. Best of three here, and just get right into the lineups. Right on here, see what we've got today. So starting off with Duracell Battery's lineup, they are running up Alpha, Kara, LT, Philip, and Under will be bagging. I don't know too much about Duracell batteries, man, but this is pretty standard. I feel like this is pretty standard kind of lineup. They've run out some different lineups throughout the season. We've seen Clout, we've seen Moises get a couple of matches in. So they've kind of mixed and matched, but this is probably their strongest lineup by far. That they're of course going to be running out for finals here. You got two extremely strong runners in LT, who's played in high div before with IF. You probably remember him from, and then you have Kara as well, who has made her way up the ranks in the community too lately, and is a very formidable runner. Then you have two really strong support runners in Alpha and Philip. Philip known for playing in AC a lot, and then Alpha kind of playing around a lot. He's played in IF's second team before for league matches, so he knows his way around mid div. Like all these players have either a lot of experience in mid div or some experience in high div, and they were the best team by far in Division 4 this season, finishing with 85 points and taking home that first seed. So yeah, they skipped right to the finals here, and well, it'll be interesting to see how Under does in bagging today. When he's on his game, he's definitely one of the best, if not the best baggers in Division 4 this season. So if he's on his game, it'll really help Duracell Battery a ton. And I guess for now, we can see what CY is going to be running out here for today. So, okay, for CY here, we've got Dan, we've got Dermo, we have Jaggy, we have Clyde, and then we have Charmander bagging. And again, same thing. This is pretty much CY's main lineup. This is the lineup that we saw kind of when they ran out in the semifinals versus Apocalypse Luna, whom they beat in who they beat, yeah, to move on to the finals to face Duracell Battery. They took down the second seed in AP Luna. Contingency finished in third place in the standings with 58 points, but they can definitely compete with Duracell Battery today. I feel like Dan is a really has made himself and made a name for himself, not only playing in like the high echelons of lounge, but also in mid div too. He can put up big points and score 100 plus like every match if he's on his game. Expect to see him in the front a lot, along with hopefully Clyde and probably also Jaggy too. And then Dermo, he's kind of more of a pack player, a mid pack player. He really likes to schlag and try to hit the other team a lot, which is so important to have, especially mid div. You gotta have schlaggers too, not just runners. People who can hit the opposition and keep them back in the back, so your top runners can stay in the front. So so CY's kind of got a good mix of that. They're no strangers to D4. They've been playing D4 for a while now, so they kind of know how it works, how the teams play. But obviously, they're going to have their hands full in Duracell Battery, and we'll see how Charmander matches up to Under 2. Charmander has definitely has definitely rose in the bagging ranks too in his own, and he's kind of come into his own in the last couple of seasons too. So he definitely shouldn't be scared of Under. I think it'll be a good bagging battle here, and like I said, I think it'll be close. I could definitely see this going to 3 matches. I could also see Duracell winning in 2 matches, but I feel like it's either gonna go to 3 matches or maybe it'd be a 2 of them Duracell, but I think it'll go to 3. I think CY will put up a great fight here, and I think Duracell Battery is gonna have their hands full here. As far as predictions go, I think I'm gonna take Duracell Battery 2-1 in 3 matches. I think Duracell Battery will win match 1 and then CY will even it up and win the second match, but then Duracell Battery in the end is going to take it home in a third match, in my opinion. But and as far as MVPs go, I think for match 1, I'm going to have LT MVPing with a score of 116. And then for match 2, I'll have Dan MVP with a match of 110. Third match, I think I'm going to take Dan once again and see with 105 I'll go with. And so here on POV, we're getting the room started here. So we are all systems go now for Division 4 finals. Get your popcorn, guys. Should be a great match. Hopefully we'll see a lot of great plays getting made. Um and yeah, let's get let's get right into it here. So for POVs, we will have Dan's POV for you, and I know we have a lot of other PVs. I think pretty much everyone from Duracell Battery is streaming their POV, so we've got no shortage of POVs from their part. But for CY side, it'll be Dan, and I think we also have Jaggy's POV, so he might get a little bit of the spotlight as well. Oh, and there are 9 in rooms, so we do have we have 1 DC, so we'll probably be seeing a reset here, uh, unfortunately. So think we can probably take a small break real quick and get back to you guys when the room's about to start once again here. But stick around, please. We'll be we'll be right back after a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Or now, yeah, we see 9 in room here, so hopefully we'll be getting the room started here very shortly. Hopefully no DCs the rest of the way. Hopefully it's all smooth sailing. Should go by should go by somewhat fast. You know, we have the 12 race GP setting enabled, of course, for playoffs and stuff. Just make it go by, just make it run a little smoother. Hopefully save just a little bit of time. We now have 10 in room here, so any second now we'll be getting started. Dan is the new host. They had to switch hosts, I believe, because Clyde has issues at times joining certain people. So hopefully he'll be all right. Hopefully him and Dan will be their nets will be compatible here. Um, and yeah, once again, no problems. Hopefully, interesting thing that I didn't note before we got started is LT and Car are actually top. We're actually top two on the Indivs chart in D4. Yeah, respectively. So two of their runners, two Duracell batteries runners were top two in Indivs. So of course, yeah, this will be just be even to see why I try to get those two up for something. But that's just something to keep an eye on. Is how often will we see LT and Kara in in the top spots? Will we see them in top two a lot? Will we see them 1-3? Not sure, but yep, we're underway here. We see DDR coming out for contingency, and for Bowser's Castle and Sherbaland, and then one random from Duracell battery. So we will, um, yeah, so we will see what gets picked. It will be DDR here. So hopefully we will also have maybe be joined by Henry in a second. Hopefully, so I won't be solo casting this for much longer, but we'll see. So here we'll have Alpha's POV here, him starting in 6th place here. Try to see him probably drop for a lower box or a mid box. Yep, we will see him stop, hopefully to get box in 7, and he will pull a single shroom. And oh, Dermo gonna try to red him here. Alpha gonna shroom away and avoid his reds. It looks like great red evasion there. Jaggy gets TC'd, and Alpha will actually get redded there. Drops the bomb. Kara in 8th right now. Switch to Dan here. He's running up in 1st with a little break. Obviously, Dan, no stranger to running tracks here. No blues. If there are no blues, I would definitely not be surprised to see him run the entire race, but we'll see. See how many people take Ultra here, as is very common. Of course, when you get those lower box, those shrooms, you could take Ultra. These shrooms are golden. So Dan just making the sand hop here. Early shot coming in, though. I can't really tell who shot it. Maybe Charmander shots, maybe a CY shot, because it looks like he's in, or maybe no, actually Duracell battery. My fault. I think Charmander was in 9th, so yeah, Duracell battery. I think shock there. LT getting into 1st here. Nano snipe attempt's gonna be unsuccessful, and not sure what item LT has, if he has more shrooms or if he's itemless, but yeah, pack still relatively close, although the mid pack starting to split just a little bit. Dan, not much he can do right now, just being itemless. Got to kind of play safe in case LT has an item to hit him with, but here we go in the final lap. Dan gonna play it safe and go around the sand hop. I like that. Yeah, got to avoid LT's fib he had there. Um, and yeah, he's looking like he's gonna try to get a draft off and see if he can somehow find his way to get into 1st. But yeah, I don't see that happening with him having to reposition there. As for the bagging battle goes, not sure if Shock is in play right now or not. We might see a late one coming out potentially. It'll be depending on what mid spot places are looking like. Fib snipe attempt going to come out here. Will it connect? It will not. Okay, late shock does come in here. Switch to alpha. Yeah, we see, yeah, card dodging and stars. So I have to assume that's a Duracell battery shock. See how many places she can get here. Looking like she probably only gonna pass Dermo. So it's kind of a mixed result. Because you see, yeah, Dermo getting a bomb spot there. Um, so yeah, kind of I don't think one. I don't think it was really a blow. Wasn't really a blowout race. I think it was kind of mixed, kind of the mixed spots there. But I want to say, yeah, that was 2 shocks from Duracell battery there, as under just blew away Charmander there on DDR. But yeah, great job. So that 2-3-5-8 for CY, and so pretty even race. Scores are going to be very close after one race there, but yeah, there wasn't really much Dan could do there because he probably didn't know what LT had, if he had what kind of item he had. Turns out he had a fib, but it was very smart from Dan to just go around the sand hop and not try to risk it, as CY wasn't really much of the top spots. So yeah, so after one race, the +1 for Duracell battery. So about as close as it can get. We'll see what tracks they opt to go. See what tracks they opt to go for here. MC3 looking like coming out from Duracell, but interesting track pick. I didn't really expect that, considering they're really not. I mean, they're not one bottom three. Usually you'll find teams picking MC3 if they're one bottom three, or maybe like one and then like 5 or bottom two. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, it'll be Grumble Volcano. CY's track pick here. They've sure got to go for Aether. Make sure you get that Aether there. Probably up to some of the other players. Drop for Shrooms here. and Alpha included, as we will now have his POV for race 2 here. So, see what items they can get here. So Alpha is going to get a 6th place box here. Going to go. Gets the triple shrooms, one of the best items you can pull on Grumble Volcano there. So now he can just do the rock. See Dan get fibbed there. But Alpha, if he doesn't get hit by enemies like that, smooth sailing. Top 3 early on until Alpha gets redded there, though. So that top 3 was very short-lived. Still, I believe, at least a 1-3, if not top 2 still. But Alpha hopefully can still take rock. Unless Dermo hits him with some item there. We see Jaggy in 2nd right now. Dermo going to go for the rock, too. Alpha's going to fail it, though. Little bit of a rough angle there to try to make it from, but he unfortunately fails it. Switch to Danny here. He is holding a star in 7th right now with a very close pack. We do see a lot of CY back here though, which tells me that Duracell is most of the top spots here. Kara is in 8th though, so it's gonna shake things up a little bit. Jaggy gets back green there. We do see you see both the batters. One going forward. Okay, Dan's gonna get forced into a star. Uh, and yeah, shock will come in, so a CY shock more than likely here. And with no item though, Dan's not going to be able to take. Oh, but he gets a shroom in 2nd, so he actually will be able to take the rock in 1st. And he fails it though. Oh no, that is for it. That just opened up the door for Digital Battery again right there. If Dan was able to make the rock, he would have been gone in 1st, and it probably would have been GG's for Digital Battery. But him failing the rock allows Duracell Battery back into this race here and can allow them to catch up here. We see Alpha just chaining mid-place boxes. Gonna pull triple reds in 5th place here, and he should be able to red Clyde. Although Clyde lagging a little bit on the map. He's actually gonna be able to break the reds here. Oh, but a golden in 6 for Alpha is crucial here. If no shock late, he should be able to get a top spot here with Kara right behind him in 7th. Gotta assume that she has shrooms as well. Yeah, we see Alpha goldening up right here. Have to see if Clyde has shrooms or not. LT gonna take the cut. Yep, we see everyone everyone going for cut here pretty much, so we'll see how it ends. Shock, I believe, came in there. Looked like a top 2 actually for Duracell Battery. Assuming LT dodged and cut there. So Duracell Battery shock perhaps. Perhaps they got the late one there and secured the top 2 for Duracell Battery right there. So ends up being a good race. And I mean probably one of the turning points of there was Dan not being able to make the rock there, as he had pretty much 1st place on a silver platter there, but unfortunately just wasn't able to make it. It happens, but Duracell Battery took full advantage of that, and that's pretty much the name of the game. I mean, teams in D4, they'll take advantage of even the smallest mistakes, even though that was a pretty big one. But actually, a top 3 for Duracell Battery, so that's an even bigger race there for them. And they just took full advantage of the door being swung open there. So now they're up 22 after 2 races against CY, and they have all the momentum in the world right now. They have so many tracks they can pick from, such as BCWE, maybe TF, Moonview Highway, Rainbow Road. I don't know what they like to pick for the top 3, but I would imagine it's probably BCWE if I had to guess here, but we'll see. And if you're CY, you just want to go a hard reset track here to try to reset your minds, try to get back on track. They're opt to gonna go for Delfino here, which is a good track pick for them. I like this. I like Beastie Week coming out for Duracell Battery here. Um, Not sure if any of them can do glitch, but I would imagine they'll probably just be trying to block in. I am now joined by Henry. Henry here to help
What's going
cast
on?
with me. How are you doing,
What's
Henry?
up? I'm doing fantastic. I woke up at around 1 p.m. this afternoon. I hopped on and I saw that you were all alone and I felt bad, so turned on my computer. Let's go to work.
I appreciate that, man. Thanks for helping me in here. We're just going into race 3 right now. It's Duracell Batteries up by 22 points
Oh,
here for
oh
context.
man.
And
I
CB right now, yeah. CY.
gotta be honest. I'm a little bit biased. I've been a CY member since 2019 or whatever. So to see my boys losing in the D4 finals yet again makes me a little bit sad. But I got them winning in 3. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that much.
All right, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that comes true here. You see right now on Alpha POV, him just chilling in 6 right now, chucked the bomb up, but I don't think it hit anyone.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna pull triple stream in 7th here. Dermo with the TC, gonna try to pass to Alpha here, and he gets it off to Alpha.
Oh, that's a
Big
fantastic play right there. Especially when, the Euro to Euro lag, that's just like that TC pass is just like so fundamental for Derma right there. I mean, if he was passing it to American, there's no shot.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just big plays from him. Right now in Dan's POV, we see him in fourth right now with a single red. LT in first is a top two for Duracell battery early on here. Um, and yeah, this top two looking like it's not gonna be broken unless Shock, I would imagine.
Yeah, or I could potentially see one of CY taking or making the glitch. I know that guys like Dan and Clyde have attempted it before. I mean, they're not the best in the world at it, but when it comes to these clutch moments, I definitely think that on lap 3, maybe if Dan pulls a shroom or something like that, we could see him try and go for it. And but yeah, Shock is the name of the game right here. I mean, it depends on whether or not Charmander has it or not, since they could easily just TS top 2.
Very unfortunate TC pull for Dan here. He's probably going to be down for the counters. It's a lot of CY surrounding him right now. So it's going to be up to Jaggy to try to break up that top two, although I don't really see that happening. They're breaking away ever so slightly here. And
Uh-uh.
oh, but this POW could be huge though. Dan could T-POW top two and get CY back into it if he uses it wisely here.
That is true. However, he could also, yeah, I think that's what they're going to opt to do. I think in this situation, you're using it in 8th place. Oh,
What a
no.
red that was. Wow. Where did that red come from? That just takes Dan off the dragon. He's just going to have to accept 8th place, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, and the backup into the boost panel, and he's off. He's smooth sailing into the lava.
Yeah, so unfortunately, not much he could have done that race. Duracell Battery just commanded the top two pretty much the whole race, and played
Hmm.
a shot come in, but it's not going to do anything, and they're just going to increase their lead
And an
by
important thing to mention is that CY is playing this match with a chip on their shoulder. I mean, they've been in the Division 4 finals, I think it's 3 times now out of 8 GSC seasons. And so when you have a team like Duracell Battery, who originally they were seeded D3 and then, decided they wanted to not contest their spot for it, go down a div, Rise ended up moving up a div, it can be a little bit difficult. I mean, you're playing sort of at a disadvantage. You're playing against a team which was seated in a higher division than you were, and now it's kind of like you got to prove to yourself that you can compete in Division 4 and you can move on towards the higher divs. And I think that CY for that reason is definitely gonna, you know, play like hungry dogs almost and just really try and claw their way back up, even with this 37-point deficit.
Oh yeah, 100% here. To them, this 37-point deficit means nothing for them with the mentality that they hopefully are having right now.
Mm-hmm.
It feeling like no deficit is too large for them to come back. So hopefully for their sake they can get a winning race here to try to salvage a little bit of GP1 here. Still have 9 races to go, a lot of time to come back. Just one race can turn it around. One top 4, they'd be right back in it. So still a lot of time to come back. This is MKWii. This anything anything can happen here. It's such a volatile game. So nothing is set in stone right now. A track pick here would be helpful for them here in helping achieve that. Hopefully a little bit of Reese Dragon Sherberland, but it will be drum roll please. Moonview Highway. So
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, Duracell Battery gets their track pick again. Up for CY, as CY up there, just gotta hit them out. Hopefully, get some reds and red them quickly. Snipe them out of the top spots. It's really gonna be your only hope right now, and to shroom up, of course, to get them out on Moonview Highway and avoid bomb cars.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Vinny, at the end of the day, it's only match one. And if you lose this one by however many points, whether it's 5 points, 50 points, 150 points, we've seen teams in GSC come back down 0-1 many, many, many times before. I mean, we saw it yesterday with Union versus MV. And so I even think that if they end up losing this match, they can still definitely win. It's not like it's not the end of the world, you could call it, right? There's a reason why these are best of threes and not best of ones. And but I really think that Duracell Battery, with their strong core of LT and all these guys have experience in CTs, RTs all across the board, they're going to be a tough team to fight. It'll be an uphill battle for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And then early shot coming in for Duracell Battery. We see a couple of them dodging in stars, so that's gonna shake things up early on in top 2. Switching to Alpha here. Yeah, we see them in top 4 now, actually, and triple shrooms for Alpha. So that shot did wonders for them. Yeah, we see Philip right close. Need to space out a little bit for Alpha, but oh wait, no,
Oh
one of them hit car, I
no.
think. Oh, and just like that, the
Whew.
top 4 is busted. That's mistake you
Uh,
can't be making there for sure. But for CY, that's gonna open the door for them. Hopefully, they can take advantage of that and get back into this race with that car hit, unfortunately. Still a top 2 though for Duracell battery with a pretty sizable lead and a shroom to boot for Alpha. So
Team
they should be able
Ireland legend LT hitting the car in second place, and now he's floundering all the way to third. I mean, you can give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, since obviously he's a bit rusty. He hasn't played that much, but wow, that's just not very good if your Duracell battery is now. CY is going to be all right behind him, swarming him. Gets the shroom in second. It looks like a fail. I thought there was going to be a blue shell. Looks like there's not. Oh, there is! And he
there
dodges
is.
at the line, and that's top 3 for Duracell battery.
Yeah, and those were great comms there. Those were great comms from Duracell battery to let Alpha into first with that shroom, knowing the blue's coming, most likely from a bottom spot. So there was a ton of time for them to coordinate that and to have him dodge it. So that just secures another big race for Duracell battery there. So even with LT hitting the car, I don't know if it really mattered that much. Maybe they missed out on the top 4, but I want to say they still got top 3. I believe LT was still
Yeah,
able to
yeah,
keep
no,
third.
I mean the way that it looked as though he failed in first, but no, I mean the shroom pull right there was really good because they didn't have a shroom, so the fact that he was able to pull that in second, pass the guy in 1, and then dodge the blue, I mean, whoa, we're seeing some big things here for Division 4.
Yeah, Duracell Battery just firing on all cylinders right now. They're playing great. They're commanding the top spots. They're getting the shocks when they need to as well, and it's all led up. It's all led up to a 56-point lead after 4 races. So they're trying to pull away from COI, but COI hopefully can reel them back in a little bit here. Once again, a track pick would go a long way for them. They haven't really had their way with many tracks here, but the name of the game here is adapting, though. Gotta adapt to, even if you don't get your track picks, to gotta adapt to Duracell battery track picks and do what you can. And we'll see
Ah,
another disconnect, another reset coming in, unfortunately.
feels like there's been a lot of them on WeFi lately, if I'm being quite honest.
Yeah, there have been some problems, I think, either with Weemfi, yeah, and then some people's nets.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think it was Clyde that DC'd again. I don't know, but uh, we'll see. We'll see if they change hosts again or if they try one more. But
Is that going to take CY down to 0 resets?
yes, they have no
Ouch.
resets left, I believe,
Ouch.
which
This
is
is, I mean, this is just unfortunate in the largest match of the season. Clyde is these guys' IGL. He calls out everything. You know, it doesn't matter who he's playing with. He's always the smartest one on the racetrack. And so to lose out on him, if they need like a sub or something like that, that's big. I mean, I'm not sure I could see CY winning this without Clyde. He's really like the heart and soul of the team. So, but we'll head on to intermission. And I guess it'll be a minute before we see you guys again. So stay tuned for this little commercial break. Okay.
Going on, everyone? Welcome back to the stream, to the cast. We have Hen in room now. Should be getting started any second here with 8 races to go in match one here. So
Yeah, no. This has certainly been all she wrote for Duracell battery so far. However, a 46-point deficit really ain't nothing to me. So we could see a comeback from CY. We could see Duracell battery continue to snowball, but for these next 8 races, it's basically 0-0. You know, you're just down 46 races from or 46 points from the first 4. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. We'll see. We'll see if CY has a run in them now. I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if they did. With the chem that they have and with their strong runner, especially in Dan to help command him. But then Clyde, as you were saying, being their in-game leader, him being around since forever for CY, him being their leader, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that'll definitely help them when it comes to mounting a comeback. So we'll see if it can happen here. See if it can happen. We'll have to. It'll have to start for them on Maple Treeway if they are to get their track here, but it will be Sherbet Land, so another track pick for Duracell Battery. And
Yeah, no, I mean this has really been the main catalyst as to why CY is losing here. The track pick difference is a little bit fallen in Duracell Battery's favor. However, it's not the end of the world if this gets picked for you and you're in 1-3. I think that you just really need a competent runner in first to kind of not get outlined by 2 and 4, and you need people to bag effectively, and you need maybe like a Bill in 8th or something like that, someone really lucky, or like a Golden in 8th, and you know at the end of the day, it's 3 laps to play, so you can always do something better.
yeah, for sure. Right now, looking at Dan's POV here, we see it's 1-3 for CY with Jagging first. Alpha, hits the wall and then hits Dan with the fib. It's a little bit of collateral damage right there is gonna kill Dan. It's just gonna, well, not really shake things up much, just bring the pack a little bit closer here and give Jaggy a break in first. So hopefully for CY's sake, Jaggy can hold on to first and run it without any interruptions. We do see Philip coming in here now, so it's 2-3. Bomb snipe attempt coming out for Dan. Will it connect? It does
Hits
connect
him.
on Alpha.
Yeah.
Blue shell
Ouch.
coming out though, so Jaggy's gonna have to surrender first place to fill up here. Ooh, Dan could wreak havoc with these triple greens though if he can roll out something niche. Goes for the niche off the iceberg attempt, doesn't connect, so Philip
Yeah, no,
also
I feel like if you're Dan in that situation, you kind of have to hold. Oh my goodness, Jarvin, you're getting a little close. Um, if um, if you're Dan right there, you kind of have to wait to use those greens. Maybe see if obviously we see Alpha right behind them. Maybe you could have backed those, get your team in 2-3. But there's still a lot of opportunities for him to get up into this first place here, and always there's just the possibility of a blue shell. So,
yeah.
um, but it does kind of look like all Duracell battery right now in 1-3.
Yeah, right now it's see what Alpha gets bummed the wall by back. I didn't see who it was though, if that
It was
is
that was their
okay.
value, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so no troll then. Sorry, they're getting you guys
Whew.
a little riled up there. But right
Pow
now
forces Derma to use his Mega. He's not going to be able to hit him with these triple greens, though. He's only down to 1 green. 0 greens. If the guy in 5th is a red shell, this could be bad news for Alpha. It's 2-3 for CY right now. We could maybe see a blue shell. I think it's being held by Duracell Battery, if I had to make a guess. Yeah, it looks like they're kind of just shrooming up here. We could maybe see a last-second shock. Yup, there it is right there. Gets themselves in the boxes, see what they can hit CY with. Triple red shells, throws one up at Dermo, and it will not connect.
not connect. Yeah, Derma's gonna be able to keep their those reds were a long shot to hit anyway, but it was a good attempt nonetheless. Same with that bomb snipe attempt, but yeah, it's just 1-for-5 I think for Duracell, but for Duracell battery, CY was able to keep 2-3 there at the end, and depending on what the bottom 4 spots get, might be a slight winning race for CY. I'm not sure, but I think it was a slight one for Duracell battery. If I had to, if I had to guess there, but a valiant effort there from Dan to try to get Philip out of first. It just, yeah, it just didn't work out at the end. Actually, 2-3-4. Clyde was able to sneak past Alpha there at the end. So winning race for CY. I believe it was a +5 or something there. Okay, so yeah, yep, 51-point lead for Duracell Battery now, so +5 for CY. Trying to chip into that deficit any way they can right now and try to mount something there. So hopefully this is a start for CY and they kind of use this as a snowball effect to just build up momentum, and maybe come back in this war. It's very far from over. Still
Yeah,
still in
I'm gonna
races
keep it a
left.
buck 50. I don't know where Clyde came from. I don't know how we got fourth, but we
Did
move,
we
we
see it
move,
on the
we move.
POV? I don't think so.
Um, maybe I'm not so sure. I mean, I thought that the red hit and then he kind of was smooth sailing. He didn't look back much, but it could have been like a lag start kind of thing. Obviously he's had the net issue so far, or he could have. Then maybe I'm really really wrong. So hey, we'll know in a few minutes. That's for sure. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
so Delfino and MC3, interesting track picks for both of these teams. These are kind of like reset tracks. So it looks like Clyde trimmed up at the end. Uh, so it looks like I think it was MC3. I want to say
Delfino
so.
was
Oh, it was
the
Delfino.
track here. Yeah.
Oh, ouch, 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 ouch. My bad, my bad.
It's all good, yeah. I believe this was CY's track pick. I believe they went for Delfino here, which is interesting, like you said, for the spots they're starting in 2, 3, 4. Kind of expected an RBC to come out, not gonna lie, since that hasn't been picked yet, or BC3. But nonetheless, they opted for Delfino here, so see if they can just get shrooms. We see some of them dropping back for the shrooms, which is a good idea. Bomb
That
back gets
back bomb is
Jaggy.
lethal.
Yeah, that wreaks havoc on Jaggy. Clyde making his way into 4th place here, throws red into the wall. See if any of them have shrooms to take double here. With Alpha Nod, just gets triple reds here. Someone taking
We
ton
see one
star.
person taking it in a star. He is very well inclined to throw these reds at Clyde. He had the opportunity to pass the TC over to Jaggy right there, but doesn't. So he's going to get TC'd right now, and he's kind of in a bad spot because you're going to be in 8th, so you're able to pull double taking items, but you're going to be far away enough to where does the double even really matter?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, except for 8th, Pack is pretty close. So yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Right now, is Dan vibing in 1st right now. Single green. We see under right around the double area. Um, Not sure. Okay, he does. Not sure. Just okay. That's a box steal, I think. So
Yeah.
that's Hardy -5 for Duracell banner there. Jaggy on his way up into 2nd, I believe. We see Clyde gets overtaken by Alpha. Dermo in 4th right now. So a lot of CY members up here. Still a very close pack. They're kind of at a little bit of disadvantage. It's Duracell banner, I believe, in like bottom 2. So at
If
least one of them has
I
to drop, I
if
think.
I am CY right here, I'm saying drop, drop, drop. Clyde
Yeah.
can't go. Dermo can't go. I mean, you just can't rely on getting those good boxes in like 6th, 5th, 7th place, right? You need to get the 8th placers where you're guaranteed to get a star or triple shrooms or a golden or even the bill, right?
Yeah.
So the shock is going to come in here, gets 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 all into boxes, but that's going to be better for CY as Duracell Battery looks to be in top 3. We do see a ton of people taking the double cut right here. It looks like all CY up coming up front now. So it's
Hmm.
Jaggy and it's Dan, and it looks like it's going to be about 2, 3, 4 for CY.
I believe you're right. 2, 3,
Yeah, 2,
4,
3, 4,
5 for
5.
CY. Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
Don't think Alpha passed Hamas. Yeah, I think 2, 3, 4, 5. Another winning race for CY, as was only just car up there reversal battery after that shock. That was a good shock. It was a good shock from CY. There to get them all in the boxes, and they finally did drop. We saw some of them go past the first set, and we were kind of thinking to ourselves, they like Henry, you were saying, they have to drop for the shrooms and for the dodges, and they finally did. Got themselves in the boxes and pulled the items they needed to make their way into everything after first. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5 for CY,
And that's
and
a
then
good enough race for them, honestly. I mean, they're only down by about 50 points. If they get, 6 more of those, they very well could be back in this match. They could even be winning by the end of it. And I think if you're CY in this situation, you just really need to capitalize off of getting those spots right there. You need to pick a track where you can swarm first place, kind of with your lock them into a 4v1 and keep the team bottom 3, maybe 5th place. Oh man.
yeah.
Well,
Oh wait, something happened.
I have bad news.
Oh, another reset. Yeah, unfortunately, man.
Is it CY again? I gotta look right now.
Yeah, the name of the game for this match has just been resets and DCs. Very unfortunate. I'm sorry guys that we've had so many just interruptions this match. And yes, CY did have -5, so that box steal that we meant that I pointed out there is coming to fruition now. So which will make the score even more. So it was 36. It's 36-point lead for Duracell Battery, but with the -5, it'll be a 31, 31 point lead for them now. So they're mounting the comeback. They're going for it right now. Still time left. 6 races to go.
CY down to no resets, and
Yeah.
Duracell Battery down to 1.
Almost to both teams having no resets. We'll see if that actually happens. But yeah, this match is far from over still. Yeah,
Yeah,
31.
I think we can go back to commercial break for the third time.
Again, we apologize, guys,
Yeah.
for taking so many breaks, but you
Hey,
know the
it's not our fault.
inter-
That's all I'll say.
it isn't. Yeah, it's not our fault. It's just WeFi and net issues have just taken over this match. Unfortunately, that's just what happens sometimes. You know, sometimes you get smooth matches. Sometimes you just have a lot of hiccups like this one. But yeah, we can take a short break again. We'll be back when there's about 9 in room once again and give you guys the last 6 races of match 1. Stick around, please. We have got about 10 in room now, and there were a couple trolls. I think a lag correction as well to catch up on. CY got a -20 on Sherberland. Charmander starred one a Duracell battery. You may have seen on Dan's POV, Charmander was very close to hitting Dan, and him using his star through the pack just cost CY a lot there. So now they're back down to 51 points. And I believe Duracell battery is trying to get a lag correction as well to change Alpha's spot to 4th on Sherbet Land
I
as
knew it.
Clyde lagged him, I
I
believe.
knew
Yeah,
it.
you were right. You were right, Henry. You were right, Henry. Yeah, there was lag there.
So let me get this straight. I put on my headphones. There's a -20.
Yeah, CY got a -20 Charmander racked up a star on Duracell battery on Sherbet Land. On Sherbet Land, yeah, he started through the pack
Ouch.
and it really cost him big there. So
We've seen
uh,
this season the penalties rack up and change the dynamic of matches so much. I mean, we saw during the regular season there was a -20 that I'm pretty sure it was versus MC and IF. It would have definitely changed the outcome of the war. I mean, they lost by 6 and they got a -20. So things can change really quickly in this league with a -20 penalty like that. I mean, seriously.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you talk about CY being back in the being back in the war. They're only down about 30 points. Then the -20 just erases all their progress pretty much that they had made up in those two races. Now they're kind of back to square one, and yeah, those pens will kill you, especially in
Yeah,
finals where every point matters. So
that is
got
ginormous. But like I said, it really is only match one. You know, you've got two ahead of this. Hopefully not one match ahead. But hey, we'll see if CY is able to come back from that adversity.
yeah, we'll see. They do get their track pick and maybe two-way here, so like they take advantage. We're looking at Alpha's POV here to start it off. He's gonna get triple shrooms in fifth. Should be able to get a top spot with this. We see Clyde and Jaggy behind him, so CY sandwiched in those top spots. We see or those mid spots. Philip
And he gets
Green's
rolled
Alpha
out by
though.
his own teammate. Ouch. So he has to use those shrooms. We see Dan in second place here, going for the nano snipe, isn't able to connect on it. Jaggy shrooming up, gets Kara off the track. Doesn't look like it, but it is top two here. The good the good trail right there. And, now we're seeing CY sitting pretty in top two.
Yeah, they're in a really good spot here, especially if Charmander can pull a shot. I don't think any of the baggers have made it back to the first side. They're still just going back right now. Unless one of them pulled. Oh, and
Oh my
Nano onto
lord.
Dan there hits them.
Goodness gracious. That was a nasty nano snipe by Philip, and now he's going to be right next to Dan. So he has many opportunities right here to roll him out in these this upcoming turn.
Dan's still with the advantage though. Yeah, he had the protection there, so he could avoid the red, and now he can try to back Philip. Does get a red. He can do a little bit of slagging with one solo. He can't now with the POW. Blue coming into Jaggy though, so that's gonna change up a lot. Yeah, and that's
He
just
hits it
gonna.
in the hut, thankfully, though, so it's not going to affect him that badly. Dan missing the boost panel. That's a crucial time mistake that might get second closer to him now. And he also has no protection in first place. Really, really lucky shroom from the leaf pile right there, so that he kind of has a bit of insurance in the front.
Yeah, that just saved him right there from being within sniping range from Duracell battery. With Alpha right now, we see him with one stream. We see LT in second right now, but Dan's still with the lead in first, and then Clyde in third as well right now. So COI in good spots right now. We'll see if a cannon shot coming in. Don't know if anyone has. Yeah,
It
don't
doesn't
think
look like
so.
it, no. I was going to say both of the baggers are still sitting at the hut, so
Yeah.
this target panel, though, on Duracell battery could be really bad, and he's off the track! He's going back down all the way to 8th! It's all CY after that power right there!
What a POW from CY to just kill Alpha there and send him all the way down to 6th place. And there's just nothing that Duracell battery could have done. That was a perfect execution there. And looking like could be a really good race for CY. Depending on all this mega could be good though for Alpha. Jaggy behind him. He's gonna try to squish Jaggy. He didn't get him though. Can Jaggy
Yep.
get past him? Looks like he shouldn't have passed. Looks like yeah,
He
Jaggy's gonna
missed him, and
survive
they're
that.
top 3 right now. They're gonna look like top 3-6, maybe top 3-7, depending on what the star does. Yeah, top 3-6 for CY right there, and that's the biggest race we've seen all day for either of these teams. I mean, oh my goodness! Immediately coming out of that reset, CY with a punch.
Yeah, CY just has punched Duracell battery in the mouth really hard there to get him back with it to you get him back in the war once again there. That was yeah. We just have to talk about that POW. How huge was that POW there to just get L on Duracell battery on the tree branch right there
Oh my
to
goodness, yeah. I
just
mean, that was
save
that was the perfect item. They could not have pulled something better. So
truly.
I think that what we're gonna see here is we might see CY start to snowball a little bit, because now it's only a 30-point deficit. You have erased that -20 penalty that had plagued you just minutes prior. So now that you've erased that, you got the call kind of hyped up a little bit, and you've got Duracell battery in a bad place. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. They're getting Duracell battery nervous now. Probably cause them to sweat just a little bit with just now have to try to hold on to a slimmer lead for 5 races now. With CY having all the momentum in the world right now, if they can get their track pick here, this is gonna be bad news for Duracell battery. Yeah, they're
Yeah,
going for DK Mountain here, which CY is really good at.
but they are also, I will say this much, they are also really good at Mushroom Gorge. I mean, we see a
Yes.
couple of teams in GSC who are just absolutely phenomenal at Mushroom Gorge. It's Chef Stallion, Lightspeed, and these guys are probably the low div kings of Mushroom Gorge. So either way it went right there on that track screen, they were probably going to get a good race. But it goes DKM, which ends up being better for them and their spots. They're going to be able to back a lot in top 3, and they're going to do a lot of things to just keep Duracell battery in the back, hopefully, and hopefully they don't pull any shrooms or goldens or nothing like that, and CY can just keep riding this wave.
Oh, a Mega gets spammed though immediately from Alpha. Really good Mega usage there to try to fight his way into the top spots. We do see Kara also getting into second, so they're just going to immediately break up that top 3 from CY. There's not much you can do. Oh, but
Oh, the backflip is crazy!
massive, yeah, massive hit there from Dan, which also wheel bumped Alpha, causing a chain reaction. It's once again, see Dermo coming up here, LT getting into second, so it's actually going to be a 2-3 at the moment for Duracell battery. A lot of spots being mixed up. A lot of people getting hit right now early on.
And Dan just running it up in first place. Hopefully he doesn't get outlined by LT. For CY, though, I will say that I was a little bit shocked to see them pick this track, as it might be kind of one of their worst driving tracks to drive in the front. I remember during my tenure playing there, we usually tried to avoid this track because it kind of was just like a last-ditch effort sort of thing. So if Dan is able to keep first, though, get some good wraparounds on this mountain section, get a good cut, and if fails like that are coming out from Alpha, then, well, I could see CY running this track very well.
Yeah, and CY will take full advantage of those fails right there, as we just see. Kara most likely getting TC here, yeah, so she's down for the count at the moment. See Dermo dropping back to 5th place here. A TC pull from Alpha, though, is...
Oh, and he's going everywhere. He's going everywhere except for Dermo. He is touching every single wall and driving all around the place, but he's not able to pass that TC at all. He's going down to 7th.
Yeah, here comes Clyde and Dermo here. It's bottom 2 for Duracell battery. You see a shot coming in? Yeah, cannon shock. CY
That's I want to say that's Duracell battery right there. I want to say that's Duracell battery, since we saw that CY was in 5-6 and they were also up in the top 2, so that could be pretty big. I don't think there was a blue shell on Dan, so now he has one competitor up there with him. Alpha not able to get a box in 8th. There is a back bomb on the mountain section. We're driving around here, around the cut. It looks like Dan is going to keep first, all things considered, unless second place is a red shell, and it looks like Jaggy's in second place, so this is going to be top 2, top 3?
Top 3, maybe. Top 3, I believe.
Oh, we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. He's got to get to the line. Top 3 for CY again.
Top 3, 6 maybe, yeah.
Oh my god.
Dodged at the last second. Another massive race for CY here, and they're right back in it. It's very close now. Another massive race. So, even with that, I think, yeah, not being a shock. So I guess was Duracell battery shock there. Good job from Dan to keep first, to hold on to first there, and then CY to just make their way up to the top spots there at the very end and draw this to, yeah, 9-point deficit with 4 races to go.
And this call is most certainly fired up. Back-to-back top 3 6s is just a recipe for success if you're this CY team. And if you're Duracell battery, I mean, what's your response here? Since you've just been top 3 twice, and your lead has just been completely erased, so it's gonna be difficult for them to cook up something here. Maybe they'll go a track like GV, or they'll try MG one more time, but I'm not so sure. It looks like CY is kind of punching them in the gut.
Yeah, it's yeah, for Duracell battery, it's gonna be hard to get some of that momentum back, but you might see him go for like a Gardens pick here. Okay, no, they actually opt to go for MG again. You're right. They're going back to the well in MG. We'll see if they can get the track. Can they do good? Okay, LT does go Gardens.
Okay, LT does now. Thankfully.
I'm surprised. That's why all of them go Gardens. If I'm being completely honest, kind of want the hard reset tracks.
Gardens just feels like the objective choice here, but
yeah,
the top 3 TF pick, I'm not so sure I agree with that either. I mean, 4th place is an American, and so is 1st place, right? So the lag difference there isn't going to be that great. You're going to have second sort of swerve into, the line that 4th place is trying to take. Maybe try and get the guy who's in 3rd to take the middle box. I mean, there's just a lot of technical stuff here to where if it doesn't go correctly, we could maybe see a couple of more Duracell battery members up in the front than you would want to, but CY is a very smart team. I'm sure that they will be able to play this well, try and hit out LT or Kara. Yep, looks like LT's going to draft. Dan is trilling the green shell. Hopefully he doesn't hit one of his teammates, but it looks like 2-3 for Duracell battery, and
it's only LT
this is getting
right now, though. Still 1-3-4 for CY. Oh, that green was close. That almost took out Dermo as well. See if LT keeps second round. It hits him. That's a top
man.
What a fib from Dan to hit LT. Goes around the cut.
That's killer. That is killer right there.
Yeah, that was a massive. Like that's just it can maybe be the difference. We got top 3 now.
Mm-hmm.
From them. We do see
Kara
Kara
is
can,
shrooming up though. We could see her try and finagle her way into first place. The green takes out Dermo, and now she's in first. So if we get some more Duracell battery members up here, God, that's hard to say.
all
Then
right.
we could maybe see a show put on.
We could. Oh, Kara gets hit back to Clyde's back at first. Oh, Dermo gets nanted there. So it's really still just Kara. Okay, now Kara and Alpha, Duracell battery making their way into the top spots here.
And
A
opts
green
to not
takes
go
out.
for it.
Takes
Oh
out one.
wow!
And then
And
the
the
bomb.
back bomb
Stan.
too. Okay, well, we've seen an item frenzy these last 2 laps, but it really all comes down to this right here. 2-3 for Duracell battery. Does Clyde have an item to break that red with? Yes, he does. And so if one of these teams has shock here, it looks like one bagger is starring the other. If one team is able to get the shock here, Duracell battery could shock themselves into boxes, try and get a shock red off on Clyde. We could see CY try and shock themselves into boxes, get rid of the 2-3. I mean, it all comes down to this last moment right here. Pow coming in might T-Pow Clyde and make him not able to take the cut. It looks like he won't. So now it's going to be a backflip and a red shell on him. Will that connect?
Never mind, it doesn't connect. Somehow that doesn't connect on him. But Alpha did get fib, so he got the worst of that exchange.
Yeah,
He's gonna have to settle for 6. I don't know how that red didn't hit Clyde. I'm gonna be honest. It
I know
looked like it
that
was
seemed like it was locked in on him for about 6-7
Yeah.
seconds.
Probably a little bit of his lag, I would imagine. Yeah, his now has been a little unstable lately. I have to imagine that played a little bit of factor into it. But so much stuff happened that race. It's hard to keep track of everything that happened. But I'm not sure who won that race. If I'm being complete, okay, it was Duracell Battery. Yeah, Duracell Battery gets top 2, 5-6 here. So that was a big race for Battery.
Now,
So now
you were on the cast before I was, right? Did they play BCWii? Oh, Clyde just DC'd.
Oh.
And he got first.
Oh, okay. Man. Well, CY's out of resets, though, so they
Yeah,
can't
wait,
reset now.
whoa. This is huge news for CY. And that's 3 DCs for Clyde so far. That has just been the story of the team.
Yeah, that's detrimental for CY now. They can't reset. They've lost their in-game leader in Clyde, and they lost the first. Well, would they correct that or no? I don't really know how rules like.
If he crossed the line, yes.
Okay, he did cross. Okay, yeah. So Clyde will get first. Clyde will be, he'll be awarded first. So it's not a top 2, 5, 6 there. It's actually a 1 for CY, which is a little different. But they still now have to go 3 races without Clyde, so they're gonna have to 4v5 it the rest of the way, which is really bad.
A
Yeah,
4v5 down 6 points going into race 10.
I don't know.
This is where champions are made. I mean, seriously. You know, Charmander could get a ton of shocks these next 3 races. Dan could lead the charge, IGLing the whole way through, and Dermo could schlag the rest of the opponents and do what he does best. I mean, this is where teams can sort of show themselves to their opponent and be like, you know, we don't need a 5th player type of thing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So we'll see if CY can do it. With the odds now stacked against them, we'll see if they can come back and still manage to win. Now we see Alpha going to chain the Mega forward and gets the triple shrooms, the best item you can pull on MG. And not looking like he's gonna Mega anyone. I'm not sure who has triple reds right next to him, but he's got to try to avoid these. And if he can, like he will, he should be able to
I'll
get
be totally honest. I had no idea that December 10th was Alpha's birthday. Just an absolutely amazing item for him right here, as he's going to be able to be home free for the next 2 laps, barring no shock or pow, and just be able to take the cut and keep this top 2 maybe. He uses 1 to get away from the TC. Smart move right there, but he is going to have another to take cut.
Yeah, and with Kara in first right now with this top 2 with the little break, even on a track like MG, gonna be tough to break it up if especially if under Gear Shock. I know he just fell off there, so he doesn't have, at least to the moment. We'll see Alpha go for gap here and make it, yeah. So it's gonna increase the lead. Although we do want to see why it is Dan taking the gap.
Dan goldening up.
First.
Oh, he stops.
And
the blue shell's gonna hit Kara. That hits 3 people. He gets a box at 4th. It's his birthday too.
Triple shrooms for Dan, unbelievable. Unfortunately, Jaggy does have a TC in first. He's not going to be able to keep first for much longer. Okay, shock coming in. I
Big
believe that
shock
cancels
right
out
there,
Jaggy's
canceling the
TC.
TC.
Mm-hmm. See what? Yeah, well, let's just see what this exchange between Alpha and Dan here. This is going to decide a lot. With the pack being close as well, how many people are going to get shrooms and take the gap here? Dan
The
gets
first
triple
place
greens.
box
Dan
for
gets
Alpha
shrooms.
is low-key at disadvantage. Oh my
Triple
goodness!
shrooms again. Wow.
Happy 21st for Dan as he gets first place.
And Dermo up in there at the end too. Maybe that's a top two?
I think that's
1-3?
top 2 right there, yeah.
Wow. Because, yeah, Kara failed a little bit there at the end. I believe she made it over the gap, but kind of he clipped the edge of it, which cost her first place and allowed CY to get top two, I believe there. What
Oh
item
my
pulls there from
goodness
Dan?
gracious. Those item pulls from Dan were just absolutely amazing. But hey, it comes after the
Unbelievable.
triple shrooms in fourth for Alpha. So just the triple shrooms in fourth show right there. And that is really just that's really it right there. I mean, top 2-4 without your best man. Oh Lord, CY, you're showing the world something that we never seen before.
And CY takes the lead with 2 races to go. Question is, can they hold on? Remember, they're down a player. It's 5v4. Can they hold
Well,
on?
actually, wait. The GP just ended. So is
Yeah,
Clyde gonna rejoin now?
he can. Yeah, we did forget to mention this, but yeah, the host of the room only had 4 race GPs on, not 12 race GPs. So it'll reset after 4. So now actually Clyde can join back.
Wait, this is a
He completely
huge
forgot this.
advantage and a crucial misplay by the host from Duracell Battery. Actually, is
Actually,
it?
Dan was host. Dan was host. Yeah,
Oh. Oops. Sorry.
it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, you just came. You just
Yeah,
came on like that's my
you know,
host.
I don't really know the context. I don't know who's the
It's all
home
right.
team, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there've been a
But
couple host changes. There've been a couple host changes.
yeah. That's the main thing. I thought that it was Duracell Battery host the last time
It,
they were here when Clyde DC'd.
yeah,
Whatever.
it was, but yeah, they had to switch hosts again so Clyde could join it. It's been a mess, but Dan's host now, and he didn't have 12 race GPs on, which yeah, Ford's right, you are supposed to. So but nonetheless, he did have a 4 race GPs on, so now Clyde can join back. CY is back to 5 players. We will have a 5v5 again, and they have their in-game leader back. So now
5v5
they're
last
back
2
to the
races.
advantage.
They've gotten top 2-4 with down 1 man. They've gotten top 3-6 twice. Duracell Battery led nearly as much as 50 at one point. Did Alpha just turn his
Yes.
stream off?
I
Uh-oh.
do
Uh
not
oh.
know.
Uh-oh.
I'm not
Uh-oh.
sure.
Yeah, it looks like we're
We'll
gonna
just
have
have to go
Dan
with
POV
Dan
so far.
POV here.
Yeah.
But yeah, Henry, to what you were saying, Duracell Battery had a 56-point lead at the first few races. So they had a massive lead, but CY has just been able to chip away, and now they have the lead. They've been able to come all the way back, and they erased the 56-point deficit, and now they have the lead of their own.
Yeah, and for this
So
11th race matchup, it's going to be one of Bowser's real estates here. BC3 is a huge track pick for CY. I mean, if there's anyone in D4 who can make the Ultra super well, it's CY. I mean, Dan is proficient at it, and so is a guy like Jaggy, right? So if they get their track pick right here, this is real good news. This is real good news for CY.
yeah, they get the BC3 track pick here, and they can have a field day on the Ultra, as you said here. Uh, for sure, with Dan being very good at it, and Jaggy. I think Clyde can make it too, as well. I believe I've seen him make it a time or two. Well, we'll see what Dan can get into first here. Maybe he gets an Nana, maybe I'll Splog Cup. Probably gonna go for Ultra though, as he's not first anymore. It's Kara getting into first here with Philip right behind him. So it's Duracell Battery pressuring Dan right now. And now it gets into top 2. Dan Nana's someone, not sure exactly who he nana, but top 2 Versatile Battery now. Yeah, Dan's going to go for Ultra here. Can he make it? Going to get bumped by Alpha. Going to
350
go
by
for it.
Alpha, and he makes it real
He does.
clean.
Clean Ultra from Dan Indy. Was able to make it despite Alpha bumping him a lot. Now Dan back into first with this fib. Top 2 actually for CY. Dermo in second right now with a pretty close pack though. So this is by no means over. LT trying to hit Dermo out there with that green. Didn't connect. But Duracell Battery is still in this race. Although Charmander is gone in 10. So if he doesn't have Shock already, he probably will pull it pretty soon. So yeah, CY definitely has the advantage right now, and now Dan can just block cut with Fib and
Mm-hmm.
make it even harder for Duracell Battery to come back here. He
Yep,
can get
pulls
those
out the
blocks.
fib, and it's a perfect block too. I mean, just what an amazing race by CY so far. The POW comes in, the cut is unblocked. We're gonna maybe see the bottom 3 players of Duracell Battery to take the cut right here and contest for these top 4 spots. Philip is coming up right now. It looks like the bagger in 10th though is Duracell Battery, and that is absolutely huge on this track. If they pull shock and they're able to TS a lot of the cut takers from CY, this could be an entirely different race come 1 minute from now.
For sure. Oh, nice Nana from Dermo there to get Alpha to get Alpha there, and
Down
now
to
this
4th
is
place,
pretty
yeah.
more.
But he does get a shroom. Oh, oh,
Philip, wait, what?
wait,
What
wait,
happened to
wait.
Philip there?
Yo, Philip, where'd you go?
He just said, "Put you
Yeah,
poop."
he
Yeah.
said, peace out. What's going on?
Philip said, "Nope, I'm out of here, bro." And now it's just Alpha up here. This pal's gonna be massive. Gets the
Oh,
shroom out of Alpha. Cuts
wait,
blocked. Yeah,
Dan is
it's
target powered off.
Dan's
It's just
off.
Dermo in
Oh
first.
no.
And he has to
Oh
slow down
no.
to avoid the green shells. It looks like he fails the Ultra too.
Wow. So Dan goes from having first place in the palm of his hands to now being in a bottom spot after being powed off and then failing the ultra there. Here comes LT. It's 2-3 now for Duracell Battery.
Two,
This bomb's
three.
gonna be
This bomb
huge.
is going to be absolutely crucial.
Doesn't hit
Avoids
Dermo.
him.
Good
Yeah.
evasion. Good evasion, Dermo. There. Oh, Alpha hits the net on the line though. I
I think that's
don't know if it
1-4.
really cost him
I think
much.
he got down to 5th, yeah.
So it actually did. Yeah, that it actually a huge nana there. May have saved a little bit for CY there, but yeah, that POW ended up being huge to get Dan off there. If Dan survives that, probably looking at a top 2, I would imagine from CY there, most likely. But
Yeah, and in all honesty, I don't know if I would have ultra'd if I were Dan in that situation. I mean, he's proficient at it, obviously, but in that kind of situation where it's kind of make or break on ultra, the pressure can amount really, really quickly. I mean, 1-4-6-8 there is still absolutely amazing race, especially with Duracell Battery getting shock and everything. But you know, if you're not super duper consistent at it, I'm not so sure I would go for that. But they do end up getting a fine race out of it, and their lead is 12 going into this final race.
yeah, this is very close here. This is still anyone's game. Duracell Battery can still get a really good race and win this match, but CY can very easily just hold on. They don't need a big race. They don't even need a winning race. They just need to not lose this race badly, and they'll hold on for match 1 here. And if they can, just shouts to CY for not hanging their heads down, for not losing hope, you know,
Oh my
for
god,
staying in
yeah,
and for coming back, you know, like this
yeah, no.
comeback, if they can complete it is astronomical.
I mean, these guys have been into Division 4 finals now multiple different times, and there have at least been one match where kind of they just get tilted, they put their heads down, and they're not really able to do much of anything. But they riled back, even without their in-game leader in Clyde. They got top 2-4 on MG, they got top 3 on MT, they got top 3 on DKM, and now they're up 12 going into this final race. If they're able to secure first place, barring no penalties, then CY has taken match 1.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. We'll see if it can happen here on RBC. We'll see Dan getting 7th place box here. It gets a star. Now has a star in 5th place right now. Good, really good item for him. See if maybe he can try to hit Duracell Battery's bagger if the opportunity presents itself, or maybe just change. I'm not sure. Hold it, but kind of in no man's land right now in 6th place. Maybe switch to where's that? Not sure Alpha. Okay, Alpha's back here in 8th. So Dan gets hit out. He's now in 8th place. Yeah, switching to Alpha. We see him in the mid pack here. Single red 6. Gonna try to red Clyde, although I doubt this hits. Dan reds Alpha out.
Gets
So
the red out on Alpha right there, and Dermo is back here too, though. So it looks like a lot of mid spots being occupied by CY, but that could be really good, though, as they might be able to pull the blue shell or something like that. Looks like LT's going to get Mega, so they're 2-3-4 right now. If they're able to hit Kara out of first, it's kind of all up to Jaggy at this point. If he can get Kara out of first, then it's going to be difficult for Duracell Battery with the spots that they're in right now to respond back. Oh,
early
the
shot
shot
going.
coming out
Alpha dodges.
immediately, and Alpha's in Bill.
Alpha dodges and Bill their earliest shock, and I think Jaggy got billed as well. Top 2 now for Duracell Battery. Hold the phone. It is not over
Whoa,
yet.
whoa,
This
whoa,
might
whoa,
be
whoa,
really bad
whoa.
for CY. If Under can get a second shock too. Remember, this shock was used earlier, so there is definitely time for another shock. We see Alpha with these greens. He can wreak havoc here in the mid spots. See if he can hit Clyde or Dan. Green Sniper attempts to win out.
136 is when it's available, if I'm not mistaken. Clyde goes into the Mega right here. Some more triple shrooms for Dan, and we see that Jaggy gets hit out. Did somebody just? I think that I think LT might have just fallen off or something like that. Maybe.
I am not sure. I couldn't really tell there. A lot was happening. What I
Hmm.
do know though is it's
Big
still a
mega,
top 2 break
huge
for Duracell
mega.
Battery. Ooh, this is a big mega for Dan. Yeah, if CY can somehow pull a second shot, this could save it for CY. He's gonna have to use it though here with this red. Yeah, gonna be forced into it. We'll
That's
see if
Charmander chaining
CY
in
has
ninth.
it.
He has to get really, really, really lucky here.
Yeah. Yeah, no shock there. Uh, we'll see if yeah, maybe under has already, and he's just holding it. Maybe I'm not sure.
I
LT
mean, they just
trying to
need to
get
get.
out the reds.
They need to play for 3, 4, 5, 6. Honestly, since a blue shell is going to be unlikely, and it's not going to do you a whole lot of favors. And if they are able to get 3, 4, 5, 6 these next few turns, then they take match one. That's only going to
Yep.
be like a single-digit win for Duracell Battery. More triple shrooms in fourth for Dan, and we see that he's going to be able to shroom up here. The target pow is huge. Fib tight. Looks like Duracell Battery might be coming up soon. It's Philip right here. They're
Oh
top
no,
three right
Clyde.
now. Oh
Clyde
no!
died. Hold on this red. Hold on. Oh, that's not gonna
The
hit.
bomb
This might be yeah,
and
this is
the
gonna be top 3, I think. And Duracell Battery's gonna take match 1.
oh.
Wow. What an ending there. Clyde unfortunately hit something, I think, which allowed Philip to get up there, and just Dan couldn't do anything there with that red. Philip was trailing the green. Dan's red was unsuccessful, and yeah, Duracell Battery just made their way up to the top spots there at the end, and they pull the win out of it's like a rabbit out of the hat there. They were able to win match 1, and that's just heartbreaking if you're
Yeah,
CY there. You had the win right there. Yeah, top 3. Wow, top 3 5 for Duracell Battery. They're just very unfortunate for CY. Just everything went wrong
at
there
the
at the end.
buzzer, Philip shrooming up at the end after the pow and just making his presence known. They threw every item in the book at him: green shells, fibs, bananas, bombs. Nothing was able to connect as Duracell Battery, after the impressive rally by CY, takes match one, and now they're in a bit of a hole.
Yeah, that's man. Those kinds of losses are just killers. They're just daggers. And then now if you're CY, you gotta try to right the ship right now. You gotta try to mental reset for them. But now you gotta try to win 2 matches in a row rather than having a 1-0 lead and all the momentum in the world. Now it's just gonna be a very big uphill battle. But I mean that's just how it happens in MKWii sometimes. MKWii is
That's
a very
that's that's
can
the
be
way
a
the cookie
very
crumbles.
unforgiving game.
Yeah.
It's very unforgiving at times.
Hmm.
And but what a match one nonetheless. We saw you have to give CY credit at least for not uh for not giving up. I mean they almost had they were like we said before they were down 56 early on. They came back, had the lead. Just unfortunately they couldn't bring it home. But they're definitely going to give it their all now for match 2 and hopefully a match 3 for their sake.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
gonna hopefully use this as a motivator to play even harder for
they
match
can't get
2.
down. That's the main thing. They can't get down in their dumps. They can't be like, well, it's over already, because you still have got 12 races at least to make it a 1-1 game and 24 races to win the whole thing. They've been in this seat before. They know what this is like. Are they going to prove everybody correct that they can't win it all in this division? Or are they going to silence the haters and see what's the word in match 2 and 3? We'll see after this slight intermission between matches 1 and 2. And stick around, guys, because things are just starting to heat up here in this D4 finals matchup.
Yeah, stick around, everyone.
Did Fear want to cast match 2 and 3? Because I'm Loki having fun.
No, you're good to still have.
Okay,
I don't
yeah.
even know if they approved that he could.
Sorry.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. If you are just joining us, we are about ready to start match 2 of the best of 3 Division 4 finals between Duracell Battery and Contingency. CY was up by 12 points going into the last race of match 1, but unfortunately Duracell Battery got a top 3-5 to snatch the victory right from CY at the very last second. So a heartbreaking loss for CY. We'll see if they can rebound and send this to a match 3, or if Duracell Battery can just keep the ball rolling in 2-0 CY. I hope for viewers' sake we get a third match because no one wants to see a 2-0, a quick 2-0 to uh to to this finals. But Henry, what are your thoughts for match 1, and what do you think is gonna happen in match 2?
Well, we saw that CY was able to claw back down 56 points, and we saw that they kind of had that dog in them going into race 11, getting the top 2-4 on MG when they were down a man. And I think that if they're able to play with that same energy, not let that 1-0 deficit really affect them that much, then we could definitely see them win this match. However, if Duracell Battery plays with more, kind of momentum, almost as you called it, and really just tries to take the reins early on, then we could see them take this in the 2-0 sweep and call them champions an hour from now.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's a way to see what happens. We have 10 in room right now, so we'll be getting started in a second. I don't see any lineup changes. Looks like it's just the same players all across the board. So yeah, nothing changing here. And we see Dan hosting once again. Yep, we're just getting started now. So we are ready for the second match here. Hopefully CY has reset themselves mentally and is ready for a clean slate and a clean 12 races of hopefully them
I
dominating
mean,
Duracell
good
Battery.
gracious, what a match one though, right? I mean,
Oh
seriously, the
yeah.
entertainment value for Division 4 was off the charts. That was one of the best matches I've seen in the playoffs in a long time.
Yeah, me too. We saw Duracell Battery with the 56-point lead and then CY erase it completely and then Duracell Battery come back less. Yeah, it was just amazing. That match had everything in it. It was
Hmm.
it was everything you could ask for as a viewer and a caster.
Good
Hopefully see
snipes,
more
good
of that excitement.
schlags, and good times. That's for sure.
Amen. Amen to that. Yeah. Now we see DDR coming out for CY and Sugarland for Duracell Battery, and it will be DDR. DDR here for Dan starting in first. I believe he likes this track. It's one of his. Is this one of his
Yeah,
better tracks in
I
the
was
arena?
gonna say, yeah, this is kind of like Dan Ruins. He's one of the best players in Division 4 right here, and depending on what we see from him, the back spam ability and the driving ability, we could definitely see him break away in first early on.
See him taking the sand hop clean there. So no problems.
Oh yeah,
Trimming this
absolutely
green.
amazing. Yeah.
Great start here. We see him taking good lines. Alpha trying to pressure him here in second. You see a TC in play with it is LT with the TC. So
Hmm.
fortunate for him. But Alpha actually makes his way into first here, and Dan gets a wonky wall glitch, but recovers from it nicely and back into first for Dan.
Kind of
Dan
did a
there.
backflip on the wall glitch, but he's still going to be in first by just a little bit. The back green unable to connect on anybody. Um, yeah, I mean, it looks like kind of just the Dan and Alpha show up here. It'll be a test to see which one of these guys is the better runner.
See if maybe Dan blocks the sand hop here. He does. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's a great spot, and it hits. Yeah, that's such a good spot to block the sand hop there at the end. There's not much you can do if you're on the other end of it. Really hard to avoid that nano spot. So good job from
GC
Dan
for
there.
Clyde gets it to fill up. We do got to remember that even though Clyde is on green line, he actually is from the U.S., so it's going to be easy for him to hit those American members. The POW is blocked by, or the banana is blocked by the blooper, and so Alpha is able to hit it in fifth place. And oh, this item right here is huge. It is triple shrooms. Oh, he's getting the top four so easily now.
Yeah, if he can make 3 Shroom Ultra here, he's gonna be right back in this top spot. Oh, it kind of fails. Yeah, he's gonna have to take the safe strat here and kind of exit it early. So that doesn't really do much of anything for him. And but he gets a 6th place golden, so he might still be able to save this a little bit. We'll have to see if a late shot comes in here. We see Alpha is gonna use this golden there. Try to get another item at the last set. See, you gotta avoid these greens from Jaggy here, and see if
He
he gets.
shrooms
See if he
up.
gets
Dermo's in second, so it looks like maybe he can schlag Jaggy right here, get him with the Mega. It looks like he's got him. Yeah. So it's not going to be top 2-5. It'll be looks like a 3-4-5-7 for Duracell battery this race one.
Yeah, so still the race there for CLI, but unfortunately their Jaggy did get mega there by Alpha there, who did opt to go around the cut, hit Jaggy indeed. I like that. I like the aggressiveness from Alpha there to try to try to hit him rather than just take the cut and secure the win. You know those are the types of plays that could be the difference makers. Is how many times can you hit the opposition, at least try to mitigate, even though it might be a winning race, try to make it as low as bad of a race as they possibly could there. So that still a +9 for CY though, so they're off to a good start after race one.
Yeah, no, definitely not the worst thing in the world for CY. I will say that. But you know, I feel like in this sort of position that these teams are in, I mean, it's race one, right? You can't let it get to your head that much. And you know, the track pick here, though, is absolutely important. I said this yesterday. I think that the most important track picks in the game are definitely race 4, race 9, and race 12. Because, I mean, race 4, race 3, race 4, that's going to, like, set the tone, right? Same with race 2 a little bit, honestly, especially if you won race 1. And then, you know, race 8, kind of getting the end of the war, right? A little bit after halftime, you know, you can try and come back from out a hole right there, and then race 12 is race 12. That's where champions are made. So this track pick right here, super duper important. I think it's a -20 for Duracell.
Is there -20? Is it? Ooh,
Oh no, I'm looking on
yeah,
my.
they have -20. Wow, so yeah, that's gonna be another another negative for CY. Unfortunately, they're saying they're gonna get the pen after the GP, so we'll wait on that.
And that
But now
is
CY kind of has.
two. That's twice in a row now for Charmander. I mean, last I said Mogi. Last GSC match, we saw Charmander have the -20 on Sherbert Land, and they ended up losing by 12. They would have won that match by 8 had that not happened. So I mean, CY is now down by 11, and as someone who's bagged in CY before, this is one of the least, you know, sort of bagger friendly teams for making these crucial mistakes. So, you know, Charmander might be feeling the pressure a little bit from the runners and call, and it definitely could affect him a little bit. We do see these in 10th right now, but it's going to be tough for the kid to come back from that.
Yeah, Troutman are probably playing a little too aggressively for CY's liking, so we'll see if he kind of changes up his bagging strats just a little bit. I'm not sure, but yeah, you're right. He has gone in 10 right now. Hopefully he has shock for CY, but we see Dan just breaking away in first. Nothing's gonna touch him except for blue, potentially there,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about the only thing that's gonna get him out of first. Yeah, switching alpha here. He is holding a star in sixth right now, so either trying to predict if CY has or maybe under has a 9. Not really sure here. It's a lot of mid spots there from CY as well. Keep that in mind. Jaggy in 7th right now. And this last is going to be huge. Dermo gets sniped by LT. We do see LT, or Alpha, I'm
He's
sorry,
in the
using a star
star,
strike.
so is Clyde. This power right here could do absolutely terrific damage. He stars his own teammate. The shock comes out as he's out of the star. It looks to be CY shock. Under was in 9th, and we do see that it is. Oh, it's
Kara
Kara.
actually
It's
dodged.
Kara in the star.
Yeah, because Clyde didn't dodge in his start in front of Alpha. Was something that we noticed there. So, which was interesting to note there. Mega's
Blue
changed to
shell.
Kara.
He's
Blue's not here for Alpha. Can he hit Clyde on the line? Dan's gonna wait on the line. Wisely, yeah. So Blue's not gonna do anything, but
goes down
still a
to
good race.
5th. I think. I want to say Jaggy passed him, so that might be a top 2-4-6 for CY right there.
Another really good race for CY, so this -20 may not even matter for them early on. But yeah, that was interesting because I figured if if CY had shock that they would just call Alpha out of the star and Clyde would dodge when he used his star, but that didn't happen. You know, we saw you delay and then we saw a Kara dodge in his Mega, so that tells us that it was probably a Duracell shock. But then again, why didn't Alpha dodge in his star? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't he use it a little bit later? And it ends up costing Duracell batteries. Yeah, CY just gets top 247 there.
That's a
Uh,
phenomenal race for CY, and I think in this situation, you just go to the fundamental track picks, kind of with TF or something like that. Don't go for the BCWs, don't go for the DKMs. Just try and get that draft off in 1-4, get the second place guy to get the tight box, and that kind of thing. Just playing smart and like playing like you've been here before is really what's going to get CY the W here in this match too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And that's pretty much just it. Is to keep for CY just keeping Dan up there in the top spot and letting the support runners do the rest.
Yeah,
Um,
no, Dan
so
is for sure their primary runner. He's the fastest guy on the team. I would even go as far as to say by quite a bit. And so you've got guys like Clyde and Dermo who are acceptable runners in 2-3, but Dan is the head of the show when it comes to that stuff. So it will pick TF for him. I know that this is one of his better tracks, like DDR, and we'll see what happens right here.
and CY's in perfect spot for TF here because they have fourth who can try draft Dan, and then they also have Dermot seventh who can drop for Bill as well. So they're in prime spots here, and we'll see if I can get the draft off. See Dan taking the type box here. Don't see any drafters just yet, but it is top 3 early on for CY. And Dan just still keeping first. Okay, Alpha actually makes his way into second here, and can he hit Dan? What does he get? Gets a fib. Fib snipe attempt is going to
Fib
be
is no
unsuccessful.
good. Dan trails somebody. LT is up here along with Alpha as well. It's €3 up in the top, so they're going to be able to hit each other quite easily, I would say so. And this POW that was going to be huge. It allows Dan to... Oh, he's in the wall, it looks like. And it's going to be top 2 for Duracell Battery. LT's gone and away in first place after that POW. That was really good for him.
Thanks to that really good POW from Duracell Battery. Yeah, LT is just breaking away right now after Dan got T-POW'd into the wall. And it's a top two now for Duracell Battery. Actually, a top 3. Okay, early shock, though, on the TS ramp. How many... Did anyone even get TS there? Maybe one.
I
I don't
don't
even
think
think
so,
anyone
yeah.
did.
I would not imagine.
I don't think anyone got TS there. So yeah, that's an interesting shock usage. But Dan makes his way back into the second with this bomb here. Probably just it's gonna backfill up there. It's gonna get him down. But we do see Alpha. I think it's
Good
only
fib
third. So it's
evasion.
a
Oh my goodness.
Dan going around the cut again. LT still just gone in first right now. CY gotta try to chain for blues here in the mid spots. Alpha reds Dan. Now it's 2 reds in second, and yeah, I don't see this top 2 really being broken up there. There's about alright. Alpha could just slag these. Actually opts to back him now. Try to get Clyde, but that one missed. See if he can get another item to slag. Just try to slag and give LT another break, but he actually throws it
Throws the red
forward. I think
ahead. Gets
Climate
T-Powed
back.
right here, maybe. Not going to be super duper good for him. The TC right here for Dan. Jaggy's up and Bill. He's not able to pass to any Duracell battery members, and so he's definitely getting 8th here. And a TC immediately for Alpha as well. I mean, he pulled that just seconds after, but it's going to be more like a 4 the win for him as we see, looks like 1, 4, 5, 6 for Duracell battery, and a decent response, but they're going to need a little bit more than that to cut into this CY lead.
Yeah, they're gonna need bigger races than this, but since there's so much time left in the war, you'll take those races to at least stop the bleeding from CY and stop the momentum, even just a little bit there. Like thankfully that POW Lap 1 was all LT needed to break away after Dan got screwed over in second there. And I'm pretty sure also Dan, I think he trailed his teammate maybe lap 1 with the green. I want to say maybe that hurt him. That hurt him just a little bit as well, but yeah, so a small winning race for Duracell Battery here.
Exactly, yeah.
And keep in mind, the -20 has not been added to the table yet, so it's for now we see CY up by 17, but they'll be down by they would be down about 3. So okay, yeah, clip has been sent, and one of the referees has said it is a -20. So yeah, so I'll probably be at the table now. So it's actually going to be, I think, a 3-point lead for Duracell Battery after 3 races right here.
Yeah, no, and taking a look at this clip right here from Alpha KC, if it loads on my phone, damn it. But I mean, I think it's just a case of Charmander just getting a little too big for his boots. Honestly, I mean, we see that with a lot of young, inexperienced baggers, and they're kind of in these high pressure situations. They make decisions that they kind of don't really think about too hard. Yeah, he just cleanly bumps him off the track on the DDR bridge. I mean, that's unfortunate timing, but at the same time, there's a lot of different places that you could have gone to. There's you could have gone to the cut. try and see if you get like golden or something like that. You could have, just waited for everybody to pass and, not really an unlucky kind of penalty right there. That's sort of just unfortunate news for Charmander and CY.
Yeah. And now it's going on to RBC here. Dan gets rid out with the TC. So that's bad. It's bad for him. Jaggy's gonna get ready. Oh, and never mind. Pulls a Mega and actually switches Alpha. So Jaggy pulls the Uno reverse card out on Alpha and says, "No, sir. Have this Mega right here." So Alpha's gonna find himself back at 7th here with Dan in 8th. And Dermo may have clipped one of the Nanas there, so that puts him back just a little bit from the pack. Trying to split. Oh, Alpha does pull blue though, and is going to be holding it for the time being, which tells me obviously that Duracell battery is in first. Oh, never mind. Blue gets thrown, so that's a hit.
Back
CY
red
member
right
out.
there. A 7th place box for Dan right here is great news. However, what's not great news is all these CY members that are back here. It looks to be just Jaggy up in the front, and he's kind of fighting a 1v5. He gets bumped off as well, and now it looks like all Duracell battery. But oh, the dodge and the shock from Duracell battery. He's gonna have 2 shrooms in 3rd. He's shrooming up here, and he sees all of his Duracell battery teammates. Whoa, that's a big shock for Duracell battery.
Just like that, it's a top 3 for Duracell battery. Oh, but Alpha's in a bad spot after clipping the Thwomp, so he had to
Driving
slow
like
down
the easy
quite a bit.
CPU, but gets the hop dodge immediately after, chains the shroom, gets triple reds, and he's gonna have a field day schlagging in 4th place if Philip decides to slow down.
And it's top 4 break for Duracell battery on RBC. Yeah, Philip's gonna let Alpha behind him to do some slagging with these reds if CY gets close to them. So yeah, this is the worst case scenario for CY here. It's gonna be darn near impossible to break this up unless Charmander can get a late shock. That's really their only win condition right now.
Hits the
Alpha
wall
slows down to hit the wall
to
to do some
slow down,
slagging.
try and hit Jaggy, gets 1. Doesn't get Jaggy, he pulls out his triple green shells, isn't able to get, but he gets the POW in 7th. This might be even bigger than the triple red shells, in all honesty. I mean, he's gonna be able to T-POW Dan, Jaggy, and Clyde and just sort of guarantee themselves top 4 if he uses this in a wise spot. Backred's his own teammate as well. Ouch.
Yeah, this is top 4able with this POW. Okay, I should
Oh
see
my,
bomb,
yeah.
and that just kills.
And he
Yeah,
bumps
CY
Clyde
there.
off too. Oh my goodness, this is just got to the next race already if you're CY.
And another race for Alpha. A bomb. I'm sorry. Another bomb for Alpha, which does connect. So yeah, this is probably going to. Although Dan is going
And
to
maybe
get right
prevent
up
the
next to Alpha.
fridge, yeah.
So this top 4 could be broken up unless Alpha gets a good item here and passes Dan, which could happen. We'll see what Alpha gets.
GSC is
Doesn't look
gonna
like Oh wait a. Oh no, Dan.
No. Cut the
Oh.
cameras. Cut the cameras. Cut the
Oh
cameras.
no.
Oh
Dan
no, Danny boy, what are you doing, man?
He tried the spear strat, which is how you make. That's usually how you make the rail on spear, just for reference. There, he tried that strat and it failed miserably. So
Yeah, no,
I
I
believe that was
mean,
top 4 for Duracell battery because of that. I feel
you,
like he would have gotten. I feel like he would have gotten 4th if he just did it normally. You think?
yeah, no, that's definitely a controller spike to the ground moment. You're going on MK Central Fool, maybe even. Just all the low lights are being broadcast to the whole wide world, but you can't let yourself get down though. I mean, they're down by a lot. They just got top 4. They got a -20 penalty that GP. It's not the end of the world. They came back down 56 last match. Or almost did, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes, absolutely. They're not out of it. They've been here before. They've been here today. They were down big in the first match. This deficit is certainly erasable here, but you gotta be thinking, is CY tilting a little bit in call right now after this? Like is their mojo down a little bit? Can they reset? Can they just all of them? Can they just take a deep breath and regather themselves? And you still have 8 races to go. Quite a bit of time, plenty of races to come back. You just gotta move forward from it.
Yeah,
like
no, for sure. And CY might be down in their call, but I can tell that Duracell battery is definitely charged up. They just got top 4, and we haven't seen a lot of those this match. Honestly, we saw a couple of top 3 sixes, but not really a top 4. So that's absolutely huge there to get the fridge pick. Just put it on immediately and put it on the fridge immediately and go on to race 5. I guess that's the mental that they have right here, and we'll see what happens. But this is a tough deficit to come back from if you're CY.
Yeah, it really is, and it's mostly from a psychological perspective, which is why it makes it even tougher. You know, it's 34, but for CY it feels like it's 110 right now. So that's why it just you think it'll be tougher for them to come back. But this Maple Treeway pick and then Clyde picking GV. Okay, okay, Clyde.
Yeah,
This,
there
this
might have been
pick.
a
Oh, Clyde.
a misinput. You know, just went one
Yeah.
down unfortunately, but does
Yeah.
look like it's gonna be MT here. This is a this is a tough bagging track. I will say that much. People misconstrue it as a sitting track, right? But the 40-second period to get to the last set, that's where the difference is made in baggers. There's a lot of different strategies here, and I think that if Under is able to get back there before Charmander, get like 2 or 3 boxes in 10th place, that could be absolutely detrimental for CY. So he has to hustle, 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 try and hit the boost panel on the big tree section, you know, try and get the no stop hut hit or whatever, just any strat possible to get ahead of Under can really make or break the shock situation here.
A top two now for Duracell Battery on the tight fib attempt from Alpha is gonna miss everyone. I'm pretty sure. And but still, if he doesn't get ready here, this will be good. Oh no, Kari gets hit by the Nana from the leaf pile though and loses first on that. And oh, a little bit of stream lag there.
Look at
We
the
can't
minimap
really
though. That was exactly what I was
and
saying. We see that one bagger is already getting to the last turn, and another one is kind of just floundering in the back. Um, if the bagger is under, which I you know I presume it's under, um, he's gonna be able to get like 2 boxes in 10th most likely, and 2 boxes in 10th is not nothing, right? I mean that is
right.
enough time to pull a shock for sure.
Yep, it only takes one box to get the shock, and then that just flips the race upside down.
Hmm.
You see Dan just using the shroom here and for try to get up closer with Clyde to help him out. Clyde gonna throw the fib away. Not much he could do there with Kara and Dan both right next to each other. You don't want to kill Dan here when it's more of a Duracell battery that's up here than CY. So good from Clyde there. Avoids the back green there beautifully. For CY, just gotta hope he can get blue. You know, cycle for blues right now. Then gets a blue purse. So
Under's right
not
there.
quite.
Under's right there. He has shock.
Oh,
Oh,
gonna
oh
be
my
big.
goodness. He's hiding underneath the tree branch.
So yep,
There
there
it
it
is.
is.
There it is right there.
Absolutely.
We see a Duracell battery member dodging up at a star. Philip dodging up right behind him. Dermo's able to counter dodge. However, it looks like all 4 of them weren't affected by that shock. Dan's in 8th place now. Jaggy's in 7th. He has no boxes. He's absolutely no way to get back up into the front. And this is looking like all Duracell battery as we see Alpha in 1st place next to some of his teammates. Uh, he gets the shroom as well. Really, really good shroom, especially because he flashed in 2nd for a second. And I think he's home free right now.
Yeah, he's home free. He's getting first this race. No problems. Just gonna use this room for good measure. We'll see. Looks like Jaggy in second at the moment, and
Jaggy's up there,
Kara
but it looks like
pulling up.
1-3-4. He hits the fib too, and he saw that for a good 3 seconds. That is unfortunate. That caused him to lose a spot. And it looks like 1-3-4-6 for Duracell battery.
And that could end up being big because he lost a spot to LT to Duracell Battery. If it was his own teammate, that would be one thing. But yeah, he caused team just a couple of points there, which could amount to something in the end. You know, when you're especially when your team's trying to come back. Yeah, so a very unfortunate mishap there, but it was a good race for Duracell Battery. Yeah, top 2, 4, 6, thanks to the shock and the build from Kara there at the end. Yeah, it was just the perfect storm for Duracell
Mm.
Batteries. They now increase their lead to 53 points after 5 races here, and it's slowly starting to feel like impending doom for CY. If they can't turn this around fast here, it's going to continue to snowball in the wrong way for them. Well, what do you think they got to do, Henry, to try to turn this around? You know, to run it.
Um, do not tilt. I will say that much. Tilting is sort of what gets CY kind of in these positions. If I'm being totally honest. You know, I think that they need to keep a level head. That's number one, obviously. And number two, they kind of need to just like not go at each other so much, not go at the other team so much, you know. Try and hold off the comments of this guy is so bad. Why did he just slag me? Oh my god, I hate my life. I hate this war. And just really kind of mental reset, put a smile on your face, and lock in.
Yeah, absolutely. That's extremely good advice, extremely great advice there to for CY, and that I think for sure is definitely one of the main factors that would go into a comeback is keeping the level head. And
Hmm.
they do get MG here as well, as you mentioned. They are really good at this track and are all proficient, of course, at Gap. So hopefully they can get the shrooms to Gap. Hopefully Charmander can pull shock. And as we switch to Dan, he does have triple shrooms in fourth place. Is gonna burn a couple of them though to uh to keep one shroom back. Yeah, so it's 1-3 early on for Duracell Battery, but Dan should be able to get into first if. Oh, nobody gets fid by Alpha. Oh, and he's gonna be
He's
off the
finished. He's
track.
cooked. Yep. That is absolutely an amazing fib by Alpha, as now he's kind of running free with his friend Kara up here. They are a dynamic duo up in the front, that's for sure. They're definitely great runners on this track and on many other tracks. We do see Clyde kind of trying to break it up here. He forces him to go on the other route. There's another TC right behind them. Um, this could be pretty huge news right here, though. The triple greens right here is an absolutely great pull. He's going to be able to schlag. Where did Clyde go?
I am not sure exactly what happened to Clyde.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the shock. TS
Uh-oh.
attempted. He's
Uh-oh.
gonna TS Alpha. He is off the track, so I have to imagine that's a CY shock there, which sends Alpha back to 4. So that doesn't kill him too bad. We do see Clyde. He got TS'd as well, though, so kind of even trade-off in that stance. Do see Dan make the gap here, but this pack is really split now, and it favors Duracell Battery as it's really just a 2v1 with
Alpha
Dermo up
Alpha
there.
stealing the box right there is critical. Because now he's able to back green him like that, and just like that, if he was able to get that box and it was shrooms or even a pair of his own triple greens, that was an entirely different interaction. But now he's gone all the way down to 7th place. Opts to use this golden a little bit funky. I'm not so sure I would have done that, as now I don't think he's going to be able to chain it for that great of an item. Yep, he gets blue and a TC. Yeah.
The worst items he could have chained there. This is gonna be never mind, not bottom 3, almost bottom 3, but not quite for CY. Alpha's gonna get bumped 7th there by Clyde. Jaggy unfortunately gets 8th. But yeah, I mean that shock lap 2 was big. That shook things up quite a bit, but Duracell Battery got the benefit of that shock as Pack was able to split, and then Duracell Battery was most of the top spots up there. Dermo just really had no chance to kill both of them, and it's another top 2-4 there from Duracell Battery, and they just keep piling on these top 2-4 races, and it's going to be GG's pretty soon if CY cannot do something about it. With only 6 races left, Duracell Battery is up by 70 points here, so it's looking pretty grim if I'm being honest for CY now. It's they
I
need a winning race right now, basically. Like
I
right
would
now.
take off the CY purple and black jerseys. I'd kind of, uh, pray a little bit. Hope that they can get another rally going that they had last war. But right now, yeah, you're right. It looks kind of like Duracell batteries running the show. If they're able to get this track pick in BCWE too, I mean, it's just they're running out of opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they can get gardens though, I do think this will open up the door for CY here if they can get it as uh they know obviously not, but but it is BCW though. Very bad news for CY here. Duracell Battery has so many options that so many ways that they can play this from the front early on here. They can try to back CY. They can back everything they get to try to hit them. They can they can go for they can block the glitch, as we know CY is going to try to attempt it as it's do or die at this point. So we'll see what we can do. We're gonna see it. Watch Alpha's POV here. See him get a single shroom in fourth, gonna shroom up immediately to get into top 2. I like that shroom usage,
Yeah,
as you want
no.
as many front
He's
spots as
playing
you can.
really, really aggro, and if I'm Dan here, honestly, on the other POV, I would be opting to play really aggro as well, since, he's kind of the best runner, best player on the CY team, and he can't let himself get hit like that, because if he's in the back of the pack, then he's not going to be able to do a lot of good favors for CY. His presence is mostly felt up in the front, and so him just kind of floundering back here in the mid pack, not good news, especially when we see that Duracell batteries in top 3, and they're hop dodging these POWs.
Ooh, LT got killed by that POW like a lot. That cost a lot of time, but he's still in third. It's still a top 3 from Duracell Battery, but that POW brings the pack a little closer. Alpha gives the shroom in second, so we're gonna probably see him get into first pretty soon. Philip gonna try to probably try to let him draft him. Although him hitting the wall there isn't going to really help Alpha. But
Maybe we'll see a
see what
pass into
happens.
first place as he has the shroom and
Yeah,
CY are all these mid spots, blue pulling spots.
yep,
If I'm Dan here, I'm going for the glitch. Honestly,
yeah,
I might be only 30% at it or something. I might be eating all these green shells, but I need to make it. And he opts to not go for it, and I don't really agree with that. In all honesty, he does get the POW, which is a pretty good item, but I feel like if he made glitch there and he had a top 3 frontal presence, then it would have been a totally different story coming in these next few turns.
yeah. I'm with you on that. CY's got to try to gotta take a lot of risks at this point when you're down by as much as you're down by. You gotta go for broke right now.
Hmm.
Uh, and especially with Duracell battery they were in the top spots at the
Yeah,
beginning,
they
but
were in
now
the
it's
top spots, and
2-4
now
for
they're kind of
CY.
getting they're now kind of getting their butt handed to them by CY. A lot of TCs, a lot of schlagging, and you can't really tell what happened to LT in all honesty, but it looks like a 2-3-4 right now for CY.
Yeah, and maybe this is the race CY needs if they can get this winning race here potentially on Duracell battery's track pick here. Do see this POW gonna come in, not really gonna do much for Dan as he avoids goes over the fib there. I want to say still a 2-3-4 for CY, but the mid pack is pretty close. I'm sure we'll see a shakeup of spots, especially if shot gets used here at the last step. Looks like Alpha's just going to be taken home first.
Yeah.
So he gets first here. Yep, late
So
shock
first
here.
place, very very late shot, gets seventh. It looks like in the boxes, and it looks like he's stopping on the line. But Kara is going to be up there in fourth place now. So that's 1-3 for Duracell battery, and it looks like a lot of these races are just falling in their favor. 1-4, 1-4.
Yeah, and that's and that yeah, and that's still a good race for Duracell battery. At this point, you can just do like damage control to
Hmm.
keep to like just to kind of run out the clock. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You
I
know.
guess, but I mean, even if you're CY, I mean, stranger things have happened compared to a 67-point comeback. It's not insurmountable. I will say that much. We've seen teams come back down from this much before. So they can't really be in the call, saying that it's over, trying to do damage control. This is match 2 of the finals. This is no regular season match where you can kind of just accept your losses, try and go for the last GSC point. If you lose this, your season is over. This is the final 4 races here, and you can't just lie down and take it from Duracell battery. Pause.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all that does. It's hopefully gave the chat a little laugh there, but yeah. As we bring it back here after 7 races, 67-point lead for Duracell battery, and we just see another interruption here on stream. Little stream pause. We'll
Oh,
see. Probably bring back the end's POV here.
yeah, picks
Yep.
BC3. This is a huge track pick for this is a huge track pick for CY, honestly. I mean, we saw how good they were at the Ultra last race and how coordinated their attack was. If they can get like a top 3, top 4 here, then whoa, this is big news. Big news.
I think this was Duracell batter track. I think this was LT picking this track, if I'm not mistaken. They went for the going for the BC3 pick in 1-4, and they ended up getting it. But Alpha loses first, and now Dan Nana's him, so now Dan takes over first place here. Will we see him go for Ultra, or will he block the cut? We'll see here. He's gonna opt to block the cut here. I believe he got the block down. Alpha immediately unblocks the cut, so we'll see. I believe. Yep, Duracell battery taking it. It's Philip taking it. It's LT taking it. It's a top 2 for Duracell battery with a 3-4 for CY here,
Hmm.
and now they're just Duracell battery going to try to break away in the top 2 here. Remember though, BC3 blue. This is the track of the most item boxes, so probably going to see some blues. CY's in the prime blue, prime spots to pull the blue shell. So for their sake, hopefully. Oh wait, that was under. I'm sorry, that was not one of the runners. Under gets starred by the bagger. So Charmander on the first, and we
Oh,
see Alpha actually
the
one
blue
blue.
hold is huge right here. It looks like barring like an ultra shortcut from Dan right here, it looks like LT's gonna be able to keep this first. He wanted to go for the the shroom cut. It gets unblocked for him, but the shot comes out as well, and it kind of looks like CY is alone here in 2-3, which is fine. But I mean, you need that first place in order to really get back into this match.
Yeah, they've got to do everything in their power. And we do see blue getting thrown, so CY pulls the blue, and that's the item they needed right there to have any shot of getting into first. So so LT gets taken out first with that blue. Dan's in first now. We do see Alpha home Bill in eight right now, so something to keep an eye on, especially for the bagging battle. We'll see Dan with the green and this fib. Gonna try to back LT, misses him. Luckily, he didn't hit his own teammate as well, as that was close. Fib's attempt actually misses him. Does Dan go for ultra here? Nope, he opts to go around. Cut's gonna be open.
Can't even block the
Ooh.
cut either. It looks like a lot of the shot coming in. Nobody's gonna be able to take it now. That kind of benefits CY more than Duracell battery.
Mm-hmm.
Top two right now for him and Dermo. They're sitting a little bit pretty. Jaggy fails the cut though. That would have been top three for CY. So now we're kind of seeing them alone in this top 2-4, and this is a good race. But is it a great race? I'm not so sure whether or not it's a great race.
Right now, it looks like it's just a good race,
Oh,
I
hold on,
wouldn't
hold on,
say.
hold on. There's a -20. There's a -20
Ooh,
from on
another
the
minus.
Duracell battery. There's a -20 on the Duracell battery. This is offset the penalty from
Okay.
earlier.
Okay, it's not over yet. Well,
So that might be like a
time to find
plus
out.
40 race, honestly, all things considered.
Looks like Jaggy gets seventh. I'm not sure who got eight. Yeah, I think it was maybe Duracell battery, but I'm not sure exactly all the spots CY got, but it was a winning race nonetheless. And that shot lap through was big for CY because it did TS LT on the ultras. He was taking it. Actually, it's a top 3-7 for CY, so it is a great race. You were right about that,
Yeah.
Henry. Plus the -20, and yeah, all of a sudden this deficit is starting to close just a little bit. Yeah, it's without the -20 onto Duracell battery, it's a 48-point lead for them, but the -20 onto that would make it a 28-point deficit for CY with 4 races left to go. So it is by no means over. Just
Yeah,
yeah, in one race, CY makes up a lot of ground.
67 points to 28. I mean, that's what more could you ask for, honestly? 28 points is really only a one race deficit. You can get top 4 and you're up 3, right?
Yes,
So it's
yes.
a one race lead, honestly, for Duracell battery, you could call it.
Yeah, so we still got a match, guys. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We still have 4 races to play, and it is drawing closer to being anyone's game. We're waiting for uh CY to send the penalty. Clyde sends the clip now. That's why I don't think we've started room just yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a
But
look at this. It comes from Jaggy's POV. Um, so he heads over for the box on the Thwomp set before the yellow ramps, and I can only assume that Under is coming next to him, and he's right next to him. I mean the clip cut out on my end, but um, it looks as though Under probably bumped him off. I want to say so. Yeah, he did. He did. He bumped him off on the yellow ramp, and he's in the lava. That is a clean -20 on lap 1.
so it will be a confirmed -20 then, yeah. So yeah, 28-point lead for Duracell battery. We'll see. Does CY have yet another run in them? Can they send this to a match 3, or will Duracell battery hang on and 2-0 CY and make it a clean sweep? Stick around. 4 races to go. It should be good, Henry. Get that
Yeah.
popcorn
Oh
here.
man. Oh man. Um, I mean, right now, if you're CY, you kind of have a reason to keep fighting. I mean, you might have thought that it was Jover going into before that race, but you just made up 40 points. 40 points is not no small thing, right? So these
Yeah.
next 4 races are absolutely crucial. They need to win this DP by about 30, and they can send this to a match 3 and maybe call themselves champions soon enough.
Yeah, hopefully, but that just goes to show you this is why you never give up in MKWii. No matter if the deficit is 70 points, with it seeming
Mm-hmm.
like all hope is lost. This is why you don't give up, and this is why you play till the end until race 12 is over. Exactly why.
1000%,
So
yeah.
it'll be DKM here, so we'll see can CY do it. Can they command toss push on these first 10 seconds of the race is going to be crucial, and it might decide the winner of the race even potentially if CY can hold on here. We will see Dan in first commanding it with Kara right behind him here. I think I see Philip in the mix too, so Dan's got to save off Kara, although Kara will outline him and actually get into first and overtake Dan there. Or not, maybe not. Actually, Dan back into first. with triple greens now. Not sure exactly what happened to Carr there. These nano snipe attempts are going to be unsuccessful, but
And Charmander is falling away in ninth place, so Duracell battery is going to get at least 2 boxes in 10th right here. And the mistakes like that are just absolutely critical. I mean, seriously, it's sort of an experience thing, but you know, when you're in this kind of situation and your team is riled up back down to only 28 at this point, and you know they're in top 2 right now, but they could very easily get shocked out with the wrong thing happening.
yeah, these mistakes certainly add up over time. You know, you just can't let them amount to a lot. Oh, Alpha gets a lot of air. The mountains, and he's going to lose quite a bit of time. And LCY is starting to break away ever so slightly in top 2. Maybe these reds will hit Jaggy. I'm not really sure. He should be able to break them, though. Yeah, LT
Mhm.
shrooming up here. So now it's still a top 2, but it's pack pretty close now. He might still be able to make a play on Jaggy. Oh, but Jaggy nanas him off. What a nana from Jaggy there to get Alpha off the track and into 7th place.
Phenomenal. Oh my goodness, that Nana's so great. We see Clyde billing up right now. That is absolutely huge. But that might that might mean that one of the baggers has shock if he's pulling bills in eighth.
Both baggers are sitting still at the ramp, so I'm not sure. But yeah, maybe one of them does have. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Okay,
Looks
one of
like
them did
Under's
fall off
off
there.
and Charmander's shrooming, so it looks like shockless right now. So Dan is in first place. He's kind of sitting a little bit risky with no item. Oh, but the blue shell is out. That's going to get him on the cut. And we're going to see a lot of mixing up the spots right here. He gets blued right on the cut. Might get comboed, doesn't get comboed. And he's
Whoa!
on thanks to the bump by Jaggy.
Oh, he does. Ah, but he does clip the wall a little bit though, so that's gonna allow Duracell battery to get into 2-3 there. Dan's gonna have something. But wow, what? I know they definitely didn't mean to do that, but what a play there from Jaggy. So to bump Dan back onto the track and gave him a lot of his speed back. Wow, we don't see that. You don't see that a whole lot on that part of the DKM,
Yeah,
but
no,
the lag works to their advantage there.
I mean, had Dan not hit the wall in first place, which, in all honesty, is a pretty, it's easier said than done when you're at that angle. But if he hadn't hit that, that would have been top 2 for them, and that would have been absolutely huge since that gave him the speed boost that he needed in order to really make it over the cut. And you know, Jaggy right there, kind of the play of the game as Dermo is able to sneak into third place, and that's 13579. So that's gonna be like a plus 11 race, I want to say, for CY, plus 9 maybe. Yeah, plus nine race for CY.
Yep, so updating table here, it is a 19-point lead for Duracell Battery. CY is drawing even closer to Duracell Battery here with 3 left. They've got a lot of time now to try to come back. And we'll see if they can do it. Can they complete the comeback once again? Another track pick here would be huge for CY. What do you think they go here, Henry, now?
Um, I think that in this situation, they should honestly go like a DKS or something like that. Maybe even a CM because CM is pretty fine for 13579. I mean, we've seen a lot of the tracks get picked: BCW, DDR, MT. I'm not so sure I agree with Koopa Cape. However, it is a sitting track, and with the way that Charmander's been playing, I think that might be kind of the angle that you're looking at. So that's why I was thinking CM as well. I mean, DKS is kind of like, you know, there's a big strat, and there's, you know, the cannon strat, and you got to drive pretty well in order to get into 10th. But I think that CM, KC like this right here, really good track picks for CY.
Yeah, so they do get their KC track pick here, and we'll see if it works out for CY. Alpha's going to take cut here with one shroom. Gonna take the cut again with another shroom, doing the shroom strat here. Dan shrooming up into first. Top 2 early on for CY, but this is gonna be broken up. Yeah, Dan gets bumped a little bit. Alpha uses his last shroom to get into first place here. Backs a fib
Offset back
around
to
the red
fib,
shroom.
hits nobody. They're able to call that out now too, so it might not be able to, you know, he might not get hit by it. What am I trying to say? Nobody might hit the fib for a while, honestly. The Drown Star right here from under is pretty huge. It looks like CY, one of the CY members was able to take it as well.
Yep, Dan got a star as well, so and he has a shroom in second to boot. So he might be able to get in first, probably not, but okay, actually never mind. Blue shell coming out, he will get into first here with one shroom. Still a pretty close pack though, so Um, Dan's gonna have to sweat to try to keep this first here. Clyde gets redded out by Kara. Big red from Kara there to prevent CY from getting into like top 3. Philip and LT shrooming up as well, so that's gonna shake things up just a little bit here. We do see both baggers going forward, so someone has shock. Keep that in mind. Alpha pulls blue. For now, he's holding it. Now he throws it, so yeah, it's gonna get CY out of there. And I'm not sure when shock's gonna be used, but okay, Dan, yep, dodges in first with the shroom. But keep an eye
Yeah,
on the baggers too. Keep that in mind.
3-4-5 right now, and a happy birthday golden for Alpha. He's going to be able to take the strat pretty easily. They kind of know that he has a golden by now at this point, though. Oh, he gets his teammate. That's so bad. Oh, that is so bad for Jaggy right there, as he's going to probably have, like, triple greens or, a pretty poor item in 7th place.
Yeah, I think Clyde got a little too all ranks just there, unfortunately, and hit Jaggy. Alpha, doing the golden strat right now, is going to be able to make his way into 3rd place
Top
here.
3 for Duracell battery going in these last few. Top 4 for Duracell battery going in these last few turns.
Can they keep the top 4 here? Can CY do something to save it right here? I'm not sure. They're gonna need a shock or something. Yeah, Philip streams up. It's looking like a top star drop coming on. We'll see.
Star drop
Yeah,
comes on. Philip has another shroom. It might, top 4 and CY might have to start dribbling the ball out because it's looking like GG's.
That might be the final nail in the coffin there for CY. I'm not sure, but that is a gut-wrenching top 4 there against CY on their own track pick too, you know. They wanted to go for KC, a little bit of the unconventional track kind of the unconventional track picks, and it ends up biting them in the butt there. So yeah, it's a 50-point lead for Duracell Battery after 10 races. If CY does not win this race by more than 9 points, it's a game over.
Yeah, they need 2 top 3s in a row to win, which
yeah,
we saw 2 top 3s in a row, but nah, it looks pretty unlikely at this point. I will say that much.
Yeah, unfortunately for CY, this is probably the end of the road for them, and for Duracell Battery, you just gotta hang on here. 2 more races in your Division 4 champions. You can't write this one off just yet. You can't get too excited, and you can't to the point where you start inting.
And Duracell has a -5 too, so this is an even bigger deficit. It's now minus 55 points for CY. So they need 2 top 3 5s, maybe even a top 4. I mean, this next race is the breaking point for Contingency. Will you go down as making the greatest comeback of all time in match 2, getting 2 top 4s in a row? Or is it curtains for you? I mean, it's now or never, really.
And they're going for Gardens here, very hard reset track, and all of Duracell Battery going for the random here. Okay, I guess we're vibing with this. I guess we're vibing with GC and Mario Circuit, which heavily favors CY. I don't know why they're going random, but more power to them, I guess. But yeah, this benefits CY, and
they might be taking their foot off the gas a little bit, which could prove crucial, honestly. I mean, what is going on here? What is going on?
From right on the wall, it doesn't even get the Aether, though. LT, I think, is gonna get the Aether and is into the wall. Alpha
looks like he's trying to do the Mario Circuit glitch. Ugh.
Alpha just taking the way onto the going to a trampoline park, I guess, and
Yeah.
in Mario Kart Wii. We'll see. We'll see what happens up here. Clyde in first, 1-3 for CY. Dan does pull a TC though. Can he get it off to Kara? This is yeah. I don't think he's gonna be able to get it off to him. But you see Alpha and LT back here, so a lot of Duracell Battery members up here now in 2, 3, 4. We see someone else taking cut. We see Clyde still starting to break away though in first. Jaggy on the come up as well. So far from over here, you see Charmander. I think he's 10, but I'm not sure if Under has shock or not. He's just sitting around. I think he's just painting boxes, which yeah, could be good.
So the 2 shrooms right here is very big for Alpha, obviously. He does get the TC pass to him, though. He needs to get this to one of the CY members up here. Otherwise, this might be quite a good race for CY, honestly. Gets it to his teammate, Philip, who unfortunately gets shot down. 2-3 right now, throws the bomb up, isn't able to connect. It's only Dan up in 3rd place. And, yeah. I mean, Clyde is up there, but this looks kind of like curtains for CY. I've got to say so.
And to add insult to injury, Dermo's build dropped him right on a banana peel into the grass.
Yeah,
So
no,
that just
no,
killed him. I think
this
it's
is not happening. Yeah.
yeah, it's GG's pretty much. We'll get the yeah, we'll get the score update here after 11 races, but I believe
I think it's impossible. Even with the top 5, I think it's
yeah,
impossible.
I think
Yeah.
it's impossible as well. I think it's curtains.
We can maybe see about like an interview or something like that for the new Division 4 champions, the new kids on the block, Duracell Battery. More likely than not, still gotta have the clock wind down, but they look like they're gonna win this one.
49-point lead after 11. Yep, officially impossible for CY to come back. And you have your new Division 4 champions in Duracell Banner. Congrats to them for taking home the banner in D4. We'll see if we can get a quick interview at the end. I'm not sure if we'll have time for that, as we do want to bring you guys JX and Mint D1 semis right after this. Please stick around for that one as well. That's going to be a very good matchup, one that a lot of people have anticipated for a while now. We are gonna most likely bringing that to you. We'll see. Just gonna play out the last race here. Hopefully,
Yeah,
for time's sake, GV2 gets picked, so we
looks
can
like they're trying
clean this
to
up.
get this over with as much as the fans are waiting for JX Mint going GV2 and oh, come
Unfortunately, the
on.
long track.
Come on. Listen,
Unfortunately,
I
fans are
want to
losing
watch
it.
that D1 semis match too. I got to keep it a buck 50 with y'all.
Me too. I think we are. I can't wait to watch that for sure. We just want to get this. We just want to get this out of here. We know the outcome already, but I guess we can
Yeah.
just take this last race to talk about. What do you think? We'll start with CY, I guess, Henry. What do you think went wrong for CY in match 2?
Um they just I think that the what happened during match 1 where they kind of fell into that hole at the end there, that kind of just put them right where they are right now, honestly. And like I think that they just weren't able to really come back from this, and they sort of just there was no answer. They had no answer planned. There were a bunch of trolls and there were a bunch of misplays and hitting of teammates and stuff like that. And I think that CY kind of has to look towards the future. They got to see, can this core of Dermo and Dan and Clyde and Charmander like win in this division, really, because this is their third loss in the D4 finals in the last year and a half. So I mean, it doesn't look that likely that we might ever see CY win something in D4. Honestly, with the way things have worked out, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was interesting to see if they run it back next season. Um, yeah, in D4, probably if they'll come back. I imagine they probably would, but yeah, only time will tell. Unfortunately, they still haven't won a banner. They'll still be trying if they do come back, but this is by no means to give up. This will feel them hopefully come back even better next, and hopefully win a banner.
Yeah, no,
Give
I mean,
another
as
try.
someone who truthfully is in the CY server and I've played here for 2 GSC seasons and I've seen what's it like in these kind of environments for them. I think that they kind of just need to rewatch what happened here, regroup and practice a lot and honestly try and just get like one guy that's going to be the difference maker. Honestly, I'm not so sure that they have to really break up who they have right now. I mean, all these guys have great chemistry, but honestly, maybe just like getting one extra player to slide into that main lineup, because the trio of Dermo, Clyde, and Dan is unbreakable at this point. But maybe just getting that fourth player, Jaggy. Obviously, they signed during this season. He's bag claused with MV, and he's also playing here. They could try to find somebody, but it's going to be a little bit difficult, in all honesty. And for Duracell Battery, I mean, these guys have played with each other on CTs, but on RTs, it's difficult to say. So, I mean, the fact they were able to come out here and really win and um, take home this banner is phenomenal.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
bet.
Let's
Yeah, yeah,
start
yeah.
dragging them in because we got misclick. We will be bringing you an interview, guys, with Duracell Battery. Alpha has joined us. Same with LT. We'll be bringing you. We got Philip in here. We'll
Damn,
have
whole
Carly.
team,
So we got the
whole fucking
squad.
clan in here.
Whole squad in here.
Fuck you for
Welcome, y'all.
dickhead.
Anyways, what's up, guys?
Huh?
Yeah, what's
First of
going
all,
on, you
say
guys?
congrats for winning the D4 banner, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so I guess we'll start off by saying that, you guys have definitely played with each other in AC and in CT leagues and stuff
Actually
like
not.
that, but
We were all actually in Turtle Team, the best team of all time. So
I hate my team.
oh, thanks for helping me make sense, Under. Appreciate
You're
that,
welcome,
but,
but we gotta get the facts straight, buddy. You gotta get the facts straight.
yeah, 100%. So I guess this is kind of your guys' first season since Turtle Team. Then, I mean, what's it like now? I mean, you guys, that's 3 years since that all happened.
Pain.
Well, we'd still lose to Wallywogs, so no progress has been gained.
No progress has been made.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good after all this time to finally be all in one place.
Yeah.
You guys have finally
Now
won
all it took was our main
Final
teams
all.
not playing.
All it took was LT finally leaving IF.
Yeah, that too as well.
I'm still in there. Don't act like I fully left.
Yeah, no, he's in the GSC 1 chat. I can ping him right now. Like, what are you guys talking
Go
about?
on.
Well, I mean, not playing for them for GSC,
Yeah, man. Clearly, we're a better establishment than Team Infinite.
If AC
Based
was
on-
playing, we wouldn't be playing.
That too. If X wasn't playing, if AC wasn't playing, then this team would not happen.
Yeah, for sure. So what I do want to ask though is that you guys originally were seeded D3, and Rise, contested with you to try and see if you could to try and see if they could play in D3 over you, and you guys sort of just said, okay, it's whatever, we'll go play in D4. Let me see let me hear your reasoning behind
I'll
that.
give you the reason. I'll give the reason. All right. So here in our great establishment of the clan, we have certain Americans who don't fucking wake up at 3 p.m. and we have 2 Japanese teams in our division.
Uh-huh.
We don't really mind being D4. In fact, we should have been D4 anyways. It's more so the fact that just shut the fuck up, Carl. It's more so it's really more so the fact that we just want to play our fucking matches. We literally would have never finished the season if we had to play with those 2 Japanese teams. That's not against them. It's more so the fact that we cannot play at all at night because we span from PST to European times. We literally cannot.
We also really wanted to play Bonnie Blaster.
That is true as well.
But the man, he was never available. Not a single
always
time.
works.
We almost
that's
played him in finals,
unfortunate.
but he couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately,
we were preying on his downfall so we could play finals. but
we
it
were
didn't
actually
happen.
gonna. We literally tried playing him. It's just actually so unfortunate. We just could never get him to play on time because we were not joking all those times. We literally tried getting him to play.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, for sure.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. I think that we're gonna head on to JX versus Mint in the semifinal, and the casters for that are gonna be Zesty and Ornan. So 2 really smart D1 players helping you guys out, understand the intricacies of the game in that cast. Obviously, it's gonna be one of the highest level matchups we've seen this whole GSC season. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed the show that me and Vinny have put on for you today. Thank you to our stream host, 4J, and thank you to all the fans. And don't go anywhere yet, because the biggest match we've seen so far in this GSC playoffs is coming up next.
Downstairs, I'm going down.